believe I'm live on YouTube here, guys. I'm hitting buttons and there's a delay and I can't ever tell what's going on. So, welcome. If you're hearing this, if you're seeing this, thank you. Thanks for chiming in. It's Luke Smith, ruralvacantland.com here Monday morning, Pacific time, 9 a.m. Pacific time, doing a live show. I missed last week because I've been a bit under the weather. I'm still pretty stuffed up. I don't know if you can tell my voice and things, but I'm going for it. I'm going to drink some water and just try to slug through it. So we do this every Monday morning and we talk about land, doing land deals, buying land, selling land, different properties that are out there for sale, ones that you might buy or I might buy or we might buy or whatever. We've done all kinds of deals together in the past, and I want to bring some updates on some of those and talk about the future as well. So it looks like um, we got getting some comments. Greg G says he's got the APN number, parcel J, Cochise Countyers paid 2 months ago. Where's my deed? So I got to look into that one. Greg G. Let me take notes. 405 37 058 J. Been processing deeds as fast as I can go. That might be one of the properties I need to get a surveyor on to get the split settled. I've been getting surveyors to settle some of these. The laws changed in Cochise County. And make it harder to do splits. So in between me selling some, the laws changed and it's just harder to settle the properties. So that might be one that I got the surveyor going for. So I've been hiring surveyors to help me settle some of these split deals in Cochise County. So I'll check into this one and get you an update, Greg. Thanks for coming on. Yasser says, good morning, Luke. Good morning, Yasser. Andrea, welcome back, Luke. Hope you feel better. Yeah, exactly. Dom's World, good morning. Michael Martin, hi there. Hi, guys. Thanks for chiming in. So I've got a couple things on the docket this morning. Let me start out first so you guys can start the treasure hunt, if you will. I'm going to give away some land towards the end of the show. And it'll be it'll probably be some Arkansas land. I've been giving away these Arkansas properties. And I get them pretty cheap. It take a lot of paperwork to process them and like going back and forth because it never seems like it's as straight as a transaction as I thought. I got a half dozen of them or something that got sent back here recently. I got to reprocess those, and I got some other ones that I haven't sent out in the last month. But I'll get them settled. I've been sending a lot of the paperwork on those and making them happen. So we'll get we'll give away another one of those properties to somebody that is willing to go point out a property that they like on ruralvacantland.com. We got a lot of properties spread across the country. There's a bunch of different land sellers on there that are working on the properties, or landowners, that are selling the properties. They're not all just my properties, but there's a group of other people that have joined the website, sell their properties on there as well. So take a look at the website, ruralvacantland.com, and pick out a property if you haven't already. Pick out one that you like, that means a lot to you, that's either economic, like really economic, like I can make a lot of money off of this property, and tell us how, tell us why you think that particular property is really economic. An APN number would help. It would make it easier for me to look the property up, and we'll talk about it on the show here live, try to answer questions and things. It doesn't have to be about economics. It could be impact to you and your family, your life, your lifestyle, your whatever it is you're doing to use that property, right? Maybe it's for your kids or for your grandkids, or what is your story? Maybe you're moving from here, moving to there, and it's like, it's going to really change your life for the better in one way or another if you did that property, that particular property. Why that one? Why is the dream on that one? That would be cool to share with the crowd and with the others, and maybe you can help inspire some other people to make a move or do some research and look at these properties and compare and contrast. And maybe some of the audience will point something out too, something good or something bad, and that's part of it as well. So we got an interactive base going on here. So if you go find a property on the website, come back to the live chat that's going on now, not the recorded version later, but the live that's going on right now, Monday morning, 9 a.m. Interactive live version. and say, Luke, here's the property. I think this one's a really good one because X, Y, Z. Tell us why. And I'll look at them and we'll compare and contrast. I'm going to be the judge. I'm sure I'm not perfect at judging this stuff. If we have a couple people saying this one's great and that one's great, I mean, someone's probably going to get mad. But I'm just going to give away one property because I can't really afford to give away more. And yeah, I'm just going to try to pick the one that I think is the best story, the best profits, the best sales pitch on why that property is the best one. And I'm going to give you a property if you want it. I mean, you don't have to take it. Some of the people I give properties to don't want them, but that's fine too. So here we go. So I wanted to do that one. I also wanted to say I'm going to be traveling for Christmas, New Year's and stuff. I've got family all over the place, and we're going to go to, like, later this week, I'm going to go to Shanghai. I'm trying to settle out a lot of the paperwork before I take this trip. My phones and my computers and everything are all Google everything, right? And so we go to Shanghai. Google's like, no. I remember last time I was in Shanghai, I took my Google phone to the market because I broke the screen on it. Just before I left, I ordered a new screen, and it got there like the day before I left. And I figured I could change the screen myself. I've done it before, but I want to be in China. These guys know how to do it like better than anybody, right? And they probably won't charge much of any money. And I'm sure one of these computer geniuses is going to just make my job of changing the screen look like a joke. So I took it to the little electronic marketplace where they have ripped off everything, like copied whatever. And I'm like, perfect, these guys will do it. And so I show them the phone, and one guy's like waves me on to the next. And the guy that's supposed to be the best at it looks at it, and then he sees that it's Google. He about dropped it. It's like, no. Google is not okay in China. So I think I'm going to be out of communications for a little bit. But that's how it goes. Then from there, I'm going to go down to Bali. I've been to Bali in the past. I always like Bali. It's great food, great culture, smiling, happy people. And we're going to be there for Christmas with the family. We got family coming from Europe. We got family coming from Africa. We got family coming from Asia. And my part of the family is coming from North America. So it's going to be one big, get all the kids and cousins and everything together, playing on the beach and having fun. We're going to have good internet connections from there. I'm going to try to chime in. Gilian and some of the people from the Philippines are going to fly in and meet up there as well. And so we're going to talk about business. I think I can make some videos with some of the people from the office, back office side of ruralvacantland.com. I hope to share that as well. But basically the point of this is I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep up with the Monday calls or the Monday live shows until the next one that I'll be back home and able to do like this will be Monday the 13th of January. So I'll be traveling between here and there. And so Monday the 13th, like mid-January, I'll be back online. I'll try to do the time zone's going to be wonky, but I'll try to do some just like on my phone style or maybe pre-recorded or something. So it's going to be spotty, hit or miss through Christmas and New Year's. So we're following my notes to check stuff off. So it started at treasure hunt. Okay. So today's probably the last land giveaway of the year. And I also wanted to say, like, guys, I've been having a hard time keeping up with the paperwork on giving away land. Like, I do crazy amounts of paperwork on all these transactions. I'm always doing paperwork, trying to clean up paperwork, trying to make it polished and perfect and right and everything. A lot of the real estate transactions that are happening where you hire out the paperwork through a title company or something, I mean, you're often paying them $1,500 or $2,000 or maybe even $10,000 depending on the dollar size of the transaction. And I'm not charging that because I'm doing it myself, but it still takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to get it right, to make it happen. And it's not always right. And I'm always fixing something, it seems like. It seems like the way that title paperwork goes, I'm always fixing title stuff somewhere from other people and my stuff and all kinds of things combined, So giving away properties isn't as easy as it sounds. And I'm considering not doing that starting next year, and maybe something else. Maybe I can fill the gap with something else that's more fun, that's more creative, that's more inspiring, that's more interactive. And I'm throwing it out to you guys. What do you guys think I could do that would be educational, like seal breaking, getting into land dealing, into real estate business, into transactions, getting people more comfortable buying a property, selling it on terms, making financial instruments out of these kinds of assets, buying their first property to go homestead it, or what can I do to like further this trade, right? So I think that would be a good one to ask you guys about. And I'm thinking about it too. I've got different ideas. Like I've given away mailers in the past, and I think that's a lot of fun, and I like doing that. The problem there is I can't keep up with them all. Like I've been sending out mail, trying to keep up with the mail I promised earlier in the year to send out. And I didn't realize how much mail I gave away and people sent money in for. And adding it up and looking at it, looking at how much mail I send out in a year, it's about as much mail as I sent out in a year in the past. It's like annual allotments of mail, and I'm trying to jam it out in like months, and I just can't answer that many phone calls and process that much due diligence. And I've been trying to do that and go after higher dollar deals, so it's like even more due diligence on the deals. But I think it'd be fun to do mailer giveaways out into the future too. But after I process all the ones that I've got, and I'm like promising myself I'm not going to offer to give away mailers without knowing what I'm going to mail first, without having the data and then it all set up and ready to hit the send button. Like when it's ready to hit the send button, then I'll go and ask for, I'll give away some mailers or let people fund them or something. But I'm not going to promise to do it ahead of time before I have it all set up and ready to knock over. It's just irresponsible, and I'm learning, right? I'm learning as I'm going along. And I think one of the deals that we're into in King County, if the listener out there knows which one's going through title in King County, one of the ones we bought off of one of those mailers, I think it's closing today, or it closed Friday, but the wires are supposed to come in today. So one of the guys that, I don't know if it was off of one of the mailers he won or one that he paid for, because he got some of both, but he's getting a good paycheck. I think it's today. We'll get the money wired in, and I'm sending him money. It'll be some Christmas money. It's a good deal more money than he put into it. So I'm happy about this one coming through today. I want to do a lot more of those payouts. So I'm basically saying I got to catch up with the mailers. I got a bunch of ideas of different mailers I want to do. And I think while I'm on this trip, I'm not going to be answering the phones as much and as distracted by the phones. And I think I'm just going to kind of shut down for Christmas. And I think I'm going to be able to work on mailers a lot more in the background while the kids are running around with their cousins on the beach and stuff and drowning each other in the waves or whatever they do, right? I think I'll be sitting on the beach and in some of those sun chairs playing with my laptop on some different mailers and working on some mailers. I got some really good ideas of mailers I want to do, and I think it's going to be a lot more of there's a title shop calling right there about wires, I think. But I think it's going to be a lot more mobile homes. Some of these recent mailers we just did with some of the mail-in partners that paid for mailers, we started getting some mobile homes. I had this guy that called in off a mailer, and he said, he gave me a really good sales pitch. He said, Luke, I've got a couple of your letters over time, and every time I get your letter to buy my land, I hum and I haw and I scratch my head, and I'm like, he says, that guy knows what he's doing. So he finally gave me a call, and he said, Luke, you shouldn't be mailing for this vacant land, because in my area that rains a lot, you should be mailing for the mobile homes. He says, what I do is I buy 2 or 3 mobile homes a month, and old junky jalopy ones, and I bulldoze them and I build either a home, or I put in a manufactured home, or I put in a new mobile home, or whatever. He put something new in there that he can sell on financing. bank financing like FHA, fancy financing, low interest rate, classic finance, right? You can't do that with the old mobile homes very easily. And the old mobile homes, because it rains a lot in the area, they're rotten. And so he told me exactly what year to go from that year back. Go buy up all those mobile homes, we'll bulldoze them and put something new in there. I said, okay. And he gave me a lot of good information about his area. He said, you could just make offers like it's vacant land. And you know how to do that. I get a bunch of your offers, and I don't know how you crazy dude, you keep making these offers, but you do. And I keep getting them because he owns land all over the place. And he said, you're spot on. Just do it for these mobile home properties. And he said, the power line's there. The sewer or the septic is already there because the mobile home's already there. It's not a swamp because there's already a mobile home there. It didn't sink yet. And it's already zoned and permitted and everything with the county. And doing that on the new properties is a lot harder. The choicer properties got picked off back in the 60s and 70s and stuff when people put mobile homes on these things. The properties that are available now, they have swamps and they have hills and they have, all these other problems that I'm always trying to get away from when I'm doing my due diligence on these vacant properties. I'm like, yeah, I sure know about those problems. You sure are right there. And so I took him up on it. He said he'd go over and check out the properties for me if I go try to buy them, and he might be the buyer for them, but he'd help me do due diligence on them and pull them off. So I did, and people started yelling at me, people that I mailed offers to, say, I live here. I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have mailed the ones where the mailing address is the same as the address of the property. Maybe I could get more efficient in the future. And they're like, I live here, I'm not selling you my house, rah, 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 But at the same time, actually, one of the deals that came in off of that, the guy did live there, and he said, I'm not selling you this one, but I'll sell you the one next door. And it's all permitted and ready to go, and it's got all the utilities, and he was going to put a mobile home there, and the guy next door sold his place to him. So now he's got the extra one. He just wants to dump it on me. Like, okay. I got one next to a lake. The guy just doesn't ever want to go back there because his wife died and doesn't ever want to see the place again. So emotional. He's like, just wants to sell it. So it's okay. Didn't care about anything else. Just doesn't ever want to have to go back there. Got another one where the lady, there's a bunch of debt on it, and she moved and left, and she can't make the payments. She doesn't want to make the payments. She just wants it gone. Like, if I could just take over the payments or kill off the payments or pay the payment people, I can have the thing. And I mean, the numbers sound stupendous. I'm trying to get more due diligence totally on it. There's the dog. Sorry guys, delivery. Put the dog outside, sorry. So, I mean, it just looks like a really awesome place for the amount of money, whether I got to pay her or not. I mean, so I think I got 3 of them off this mailer, and which makes it about one deal in, I think it was 6,000 mailers. So one deal per 2,000 mailers are these kinds of mobile homes. And that's just out of the first wave. I mean, give it more time, I think more of them will come through. The mail is still out there. Like, deadlines haven't even hit yet. And I think they're might be able to get $100,000 a piece off of these deals, or maybe more than $100,000 spreads out of them. And so the people that put up the money for the mailers, I promised to give them half the profits. But oh no, they're gonna make out like bandits. So, which is the idea? That's fun. Half the profits after the financing. So I got people to put up the money to finance it, and I got, after the profits after that happens, then I'll give half of it to the mailer guys. So I think that's a lot more interactive and go, and hopefully I can do more of those in the future if I catch up the ones I already have going. But I think in the next year it's going to be a much more trying to go up the quality chain of assets. And I mean, this works for vacant land. It works for mobiles. I see it working for houses. Some people do it for houses. think we could do it for houses, but yeah, I signed up to a conference in January with Rod Cleef, and he's just commercial real estate kind of coach guy, and I'm gonna go take that one. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other conferences I could hit, and books and things I could do to learn about commercial real estate. But I think I'd like to try this in commercial real estate too, where we can talk about a lot bigger dollars per deal, and life-changing dollars per deal. And I think it's the same kind of paperwork, it's the same kind of sales pitch, it's the same kind of, it's probably a little bit longer of a buy and sell cycle on them, but that's the same idea. And we can just go after, instead of $100,000 per deal, we go after, add some zeros on there. And I think there's, we could do that too. So that's what I'm thinking in the next year, 2020, going and adding some zeros onto the deals. Okay, so yeah, and so I'm just checking off things on the list. More mailers out in January. I sent out a ton more paperwork on the Arkansas deals we've got flying, the guys that I promised to do Arkansas deals with, and they sent in money for Arkansas deals. I've processing paperwork like a bandit on that. Go. And so a lot of that paperwork's going. You're probably seeing updates coming through the software on different deals on that. And then I got another one to throw out to the crowd, and then I'm going to jump into the comments, guys, and we're going to make it more interactive. So this is just me ranting and raving right now, but let's switch screens. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I should do a lot more research on this, but this website is San Diego County Treasurer Tax Collector, right? And this is the results of their tax sales. So in California and Washington and Oregon and parts of Nevada and some other states, I'm not exactly sure what states, I think maybe Florida, Texas, I'm not 100% sure. But some of the states, when you don't pay the taxes, they do, they give you a deed. So if you want to pay the taxes off for the person that hasn't paid the taxes in a long time, they'll auction the property off. My uncle used to do this. My uncle was a treasurer in Ingham County, Michigan, when I was a kid, and I used to hear all kinds of stories from him and stuff. Man, my phone keeps going and going. He would hold the auction on the courthouse steps like a couple times a year, and he would tell me about the people that would buy these properties, and there'd be like old gas stations, just junky properties that like he'd just cover his eyes going, oh no, please go research these things before you buy them, but he, at the same time, he wants to get them back into the tax roll so people will start paying taxes on them again. He's a county collector or treasurer, he's trying to get the money coming in to the accounts. He doesn't want the property sitting there without someone paying taxes on it. And so the treasurer is trying to get those things back into circulation. Somebody out there for some price will want to go work on it and make it happen, right? So they go resell those properties. Well, this is San Diego County. I don't know why, but like from 2005, they had 2015 here, they had 186 properties that they took back and they put up for sale. And then a total of how many I wish I could reach all the way over there. But if you see that, properties sold is 85. They sold 85 out of 186 properties. Like, what happens to the other 101 properties, guys? Like, are they really, 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 really bad and nobody even bid on them? I think what the deal is they have like a minimum bid. Like, they want you to pay all the taxes off, and then if you bid more than that, there's excess proceeds, and the person that lost the property, if they apply for excess proceeds, could get that extra money. Otherwise, it just goes into the till. And then 2017, maybe you guys will understand what I'm getting at here. 1,355 properties went up for auction. This is the most in like 10 years. All of a sudden, they got a whack load of properties went up for auction. and 685 of them sold. There's a whole bunch of them left. What was that, 700 or something? I can't do math very fast. 700 properties didn't sell. I mean, they didn't sell. Now, probably that load of properties went into the next year's auction, I'm guessing, because then it went to 1,014 properties the next year. And that would kind of make sense with all these other ones, a couple hundred. So 700 plus a couple hundred gets us to 1,000 up here. But then they sold 700 of them. They sold 700 out of the 1,000. So there's still 300 properties there that didn't sell. There's 300 properties that didn't sell. Maybe someone since then's paid off the taxes or whatever. But I think this warrants a call to Dan McAllister. I've met this guy. He's like, I don't know, using a walker, old dude, right? This is public. I got to watch what I say. But I should call him up. Say, hey, Dan, what about those other properties you got there? Are those negotiable? Do you take like something less? Can I offer you, I'll just make an offer on the whole portfolio of those properties. So I would like to, or if one of you guys wants to work with me on this, I'd like to make calls, not just San Diego County, but all the other counties in the state of California. See if we can just buy out the portfolios of properties. If we get a register what those properties are, figure them out, come up with a cash bid on those things, roll them a cash bid of just taking out the whole portfolio or cherry picking the ones that make sense and seeing if the counties will sell them to us and we start paying taxes from there. So that could be a source of some crazy cheap land if we could do them after auction, just totally negotiated rates. And I don't know if they'll negotiate or not, but there's other states we could try that in. There's other counties and states we could try that in. So if any of you guys are up for that, I'll do it myself. I just always running out of time, and I thought maybe someone on here might want to work with me on it. I'm doing calls, like working on calls. I could work on the financing. You could work on the calls, or I'm sure there's a way we could make money off of this idea together if you guys wanted to take it on with me. Okay, so let's jump into the comments and catch up on the comments and then take it from there. So, bunch of good mornings. Hello to our favorite land game host. Here we go. Thanks, Backwoods Bum with EOO. Hiya, Luke and fellow land lurkers. Hey, Adam Mixel, a little late, but I made it. Good morning, Luke. Morning, Adam. Andre W. Good greetings, Luke. Lisa, first name Sap. Wow, I missed a lot. Hey, Luke and everyone. Revolutionary hippies. Top of the morning. Baldwin, what's up? Happy farmer. Hello. Brandon Porter. Who wouldn't want free property? I know, right? Who wouldn't want free property? Some people just don't want to deal with it. Chris Zellers. Have a good trip, Luke. Yeah, it should be fun. I like taking trips, guys. You learn so much, like different perspectives, different ways of looking at things. I'm going to have fun haggling in the markets, right? Like making my offers, trying to buy some stupid stuff that I don't really need or want and see how low I can get them to go. And yeah, I'd tip them on top of it after they're done, Yeah. Raj Kumar says, thanks for providing a lot of information. Nice. Chef Leo, as my grandpa always said, TWA, travel with angels. Yeah, travel with angels. Send postcards too. Yep, postcards are fun. No Monday live show. Darn, we'll have to do dreaded Xmas shopping, pure torture. Yeah, there you go, there. Christmas shopping. I never owned property before or a home or anything. I would love to own something so I could take care of my daughter better. There you go. So Tham's World, why don't you look at the properties on ruralvacantland.com and come up with one that you think would be a good property to help take care of your daughter. I mean, it could be for you to move in there. It could be for you to sell on payments. It could be to sell on cash. I mean, I think the financial side of these properties can be quite powerful in helping you take care of your family. I mean, it's not just the money that comes out of it, but the idea of the money that comes out of them. I mean, even if it's a $500 property and you're looking at Christmas presents, I don't want to be stooge or anything, but you're looking at the price of Christmas presents, maybe you could come up with a more creative Christmas present for $5, $10, $20 instead of spending the $500 on a Christmas present that some people do, and buy a property and sell that property on $100 a month terms for 25 months or something, way more than you bought it for. And the people that pay the $100 a month love it. They are ecstatic. They can't believe they got their first property or their only property or their 25th property. I got people that buy like 50 properties on terms, not just from me, but from like, they'll buy one from every land dealer out there. And they just keep collecting properties, right? So some of these guys, you can sell them the property and you get payments over time. And let's say it was $100 a month that came in off your $500 property. It'd take you 5 months to get your money back. But after 5 months, you could buy another one, and then you still got, let's say you did 25 months, you still got 20 months of profits coming in. Every 5 months, for another 4 more times, you could buy another property. By the time that first property is done, you could have 5 properties out of it. And those 5 properties, you could be selling those things $100 a month. If you start getting my drift here, instead of collecting $100 a month, you start collecting $200 or $500 or $1,000 a month. And when you start having that kind of cash flow, hopefully, not that it's so practical for everybody, but hopefully you keep putting it back into land deals. But the other thing you could be doing is you could be killing your internet bill or your power bill, or you're offsetting that bill with cash flow coming from an asset like this. And the more you do that, the more you whittle away at your finances and you offset those recurring bills that you have, the more room you have in your finances to save, to buy more assets. And it snowballs. And the snowball effect of that on your personal finances can be extremely dramatic, and not only helping your daughter, but if you can teach that idea to your daughter to keep doing that. And it doesn't have to be land, it could be all kinds of different assets, but land is what we're here to talk about, right? Land is just one of those tools you could use. It's a ripple that could go generations. She teaches it to her kids and her kids and things, and it could take your family finances from going from living off a paycheck to paycheck like most of America is, to having the freedom to travel, having the freedom to live where you want to live, having the freedom to buy better quality food, having the freedom to choose a better quality school for your kids or grandkids or whoever, having the ability to make those decisions, the freedom to make those decisions. And that's what America is about. It's about having the freedom. And the freedom comes with education that I don't believe is taught very well in our classic school systems. I believe our classic school systems are set up, to teach you to check in, put in your certain amount of time, and then check out. And that's what you get paid for later on in the workplace. It's much more of a manufacturing mindset that the school system was set up for. Get to the auto assembly line on time, put in your amount of time that you're putting tires on the car, or whatever it is you're doing. And then when you leave, and you don't stop thinking about your job. You get paid for that allotment of time in your day that you contribute to your job. I think if we get away from that, and I think we take the dichotomy of the top 1% of America, they've walked away from the manufacturing world, the education style, and the way of running business, of trading their time for money, and they've started using their intellect to create capital. And their intellect is little things like this, like taking an asset, like a piece of land, or insert hundreds of other different kinds of assets, taking that asset and turning it into a soldier for you to go out and work for you, to bring you back some dinner, right? Bring you back some money, some help. And so I believe in that. I see that. I want more of that. I hope you guys do too. And I think that's a big way that these properties can help people throughout time. Okay, so Jonathan Lane, good morning. Yeah, Jose, yeah, the Tatted Taylor, Scott, phew, almost missed it. Christopher Miller, I'm looking for a piece of land, 500 down, 500 a month in Wisconsin. Okay, Christopher, let's see what we got in Wisconsin. Let's take a jump over here. So I still have San Diego on the board. We've had numerous ones in Wisconsin in the past, and hold on, let me just a quick one here. So I'm on ruralvacantland.com, I'm kind of losing my breath because I've been under the weather. But we're going to pull up Wisconsin. Okay, so we had numerous ones in Wisconsin over time. And it seems like nobody cares about them until there's a really nice day out, spring day, and then the phones light up. Okay, we only got one of them on for sale right now. So let's see what we got. This looks like Stefan's property. Stefan is keeps coming up with these good-looking properties. So let's see what this one is. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, so he's asking $9,997. It's 0.68 acres, and I think it's got a view of the lake. Like if we blow this up, let's see if we can. Let's take this over to Google. I'm gonna take it into Google Maps so I can do 3D. I don't pay for 3D on the maps of rural vacant land. I mean the maps that we have on there already. Oh come on, why isn't the 3D working? Usually you can hold down the control button and play with the mouse and it starts working, but it's not working. So we got the street here. Maybe if I drop the street guy in the street, we can see Lake Michigan. Oh, we're looking the wrong way. There's a church there. So this is the land. It's this hill, and then you can build up on top of the hill. There's power line, and you go back into there. And then from this hill, I think you can see Lake Michigan. So you can see Lake Michigan down the street here. And if you're on top of this hill where the property is, I think you can really see Lake Michigan. And we could probably just drive down there and take a closer look if you really wanted to. But this is Wisconsin. This looks like some little beach town, city of, I can't read it, courthouse, senior citizen, food, lodging. So this is like on the way to town. And there's a little beach town, and there's a little harbor out here, a little a light for the boats, and it's Lake Michigan. I love Lake Michigan. I grew up on the other side of the lake from here. This is my kind of area. So that's what we have in northern Wisconsin right now. If I zoom out, I'll show you what part of Wisconsin this is. So we're over here. Green Bay's here, and it's on Lake Michigan, just east of Green Bay. So it's like straight east of Green Bay. And then the other side over here is where I grew up, over Traverse City, Elk Rapids, in that area. So that's my high school was right in here on the beach. I spent a bunch of time in Leelanau County along there too. So it's the same beaches as here. It's maybe a lot sandier over here though. So check that one out. He might do owner financing. I'm not sure if he does or not. You have to ask him. Buddy time, morning crew. Jose says, looking for land in California. Yeah, we got lots of land in California, guys. So I don't even know where to start. Let's pull up the map search. I'll show you the map search, ruralvacantland.com. It's loading. It'll take a little bit to load. Okay, so I'll pull up the map search, and eventually as that loads in the background, we'll come back to it here in a sec. Brenda Porter says, wow, what an exciting, blessed life. I'll be praying for safe travels for you and your family. It should be fun. You always learn something when you're traveling, right? Jose, yeah, Raj, I'm looking for land with owner financing in California. Okay, so I think we got land in California, looking for land with owner financing in California. Chef Leo, looking for a retirement home base to continue feeding peeps. There you go. Okay, so ruralvacantland.com. We've got this map search. I've got it going on in the background here. And zoom in, California. You can see California up there. We'll keep looking at California. And so, someone says California. California's pretty darn big. It's hard to know where to start. So if you know what part of California, if you're talking Southern California, backside of Sacramento, I got some beautiful properties in here. We got some properties north as well. I think we're pretty much sold out of the properties over here. I got a 10-acre one in Humboldt County up here. We got one or two properties just north of San Francisco here. Yeah, 2 properties left in Brook Trails. just north of San Francisco. It's a nice neighborhood, power, water, sewer on some of the properties. So here's the Bay Area. It's just like 2 hour drive north of the Bay Area. You can get into those properties. We got some up here in Shasta. I know some of these around Shasta offer owner financing. I think some of the ones I've got here along the backside of Sacramento and the foothills, I can't think of any off the top of my head that are offering owner financing, but we've got I've got a money guy that's really good at finding loan deals for pretty much any of these properties too. Sometimes 5% down kinds of financing and 10, 20, 40% down depending on your financial situation. I mean, he just got a guy with recent bankruptcy financed 40% down on like a $50,000 property over here. So we've got a bunch of them here, and we've got a spread of them, outside of Bakersfield, backside of LA, between LA and Las Vegas. I got a couple on the backside of San Diego right now too. I'm quite proud of those properties. And I mean, it'd take all day to take you through all these properties. We've got a bunch of videos on almost every one of those properties have videos on ruralvacantland.com. So as you start clicking on these different green buttons, you'll start seeing YouTube videos about the particular property. The Tatted Taylor Scott says, good morning, I found you on TikTok. There we go, TikTok. I am looking for something in Arizona semi-off-gridish. Okay, so I've been making a bunch of videos on TikTok, guys, and if you haven't been on TikTok yet, TikTok's so much fun. It's like YouTube on steroids. I don't know how better to explain it. Their algorithms spread the videos around a lot more, and they really customize, like the algorithms really get an idea of what you like to watch and customize what they're serving up to you really well, like kind of scary well. So the more time you watch something, the more hearts you click on, the more comments you leave and stuff on the things you care about, the more of that kind of stuff the system keeps serving up to you and watching. A lot of the videos are like 15 seconds. So like if you've got a really short attention span, you can go through them. So I made, I don't know, 150 or 200 videos or something on there about different properties. So feel free to go look at some of the videos I've made about different properties on TikTok too. And so he's asking for Arizona. Guys, we got so many properties in Arizona, like Cochise County, Tucson, Pima, Pinell, getting closer to Phoenix. Some of these, got a fancy one on top of the mountain up here, like big pine trees. We got some in the lower elevations over here, a bunch of them to choose from, a bunch of different prices. Lots of them are sold, like these red ones are sold, but we got green ones in between. I mean, we got groupings of all these green ones are up for sale. And so there's a lot of properties to choose from. Different prices, different qualities, different sizes. I mean, you can look around the areas that you want. They're almost inevitably the cheapest ones on the internet are going to be like, right here on ruralvacantland.com. We do more volume than anybody I know of. I mean, feel free to call me out on that, but I mean, anybody that I know of or can think of or can compare to or whatever, we do a lot more volume, and we do a lot of volume because we're the best prices around, and we just keep them cranking. So feel free to go look at all these Arizona ones, and I made YouTube videos about a lot of them. I made TikTok videos about a lot of them. I'm starting to load the TikTok videos into the website so you can see both of them, but I only have so many people helping me out here to keep up with it all. Let's see. Baldwin says, is the Panama ready? The Panama ready? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Panama City Beach, probably. We got some land by Panama City Beach. Jason Lydiard he was buying these properties and it said pending. And I made some videos about them and people are like jumping up and down, and then the thing they're not for sale yet. It's like, geez. So we got these properties here, 2 lots for sale. It still says coming soon in the picture. Let's see what it says, if we can actually check out for it. Jason Lydiard's the owner of these particular properties. His name and numbers on the website here. So if you go to the map search part of ruralvacantland.com and hit the buttons just above it, yeah, see, you got starting to get TikTok stuff thrown in here. I mean, it's kind of wish the TikTok would show how many views on these videos. The view counts on these videos get crazy, guys. Some of these videos are like 500,000 views like a day or two later after I make them. So you get mad traffic thrown at these things. So here's the two properties. I don't think they're actually ready yet. Yeah, so he doesn't have the buy it now. There's usually a button over here, like a blue button. I can't get my hand to move right. Let's just try both of them this way. Over there, like if my hand wasn't cut off, it would be over there somewhere, right? There's usually a blue button in here that says buy now, and you can go for it. I mean, feel free to call him and see if you could jump the line before somebody else gets it. So call Jason up here and say, hey, I want those properties. What's taking so long? Something's up with the paperwork probably. Not bad. I mean, just, real estate transactions drag on lots of times. Okay, so that's just north of Panama City Beach. Panama City Beach right there. Okay. Buddy time. I put up some more cheap Arkansas lots on Luke's site if interested. First come, first serve. There you go. We got a bunch of Arkansas properties. So we got cheap Arkansas coming out our ears. And guys, because we got so many Arkansas deals going on, it's getting a lot harder to give away Arkansas properties because the choice of what I can give you is like, I mean, it's a couple guys are buying up the Arkansas properties, not just me. Had Lisa lady, I forget her name, Lizetta, whatever, like number 2 or 3 in charge over there. And I was asking her, so what about this deal? What about that deal? What about this? She's like, who bought this one? Who bought that one? She's telling me the names of who bought the properties. Like, yep, I know that guy. Yep, I know that guy. What do you mean I didn't get that one? Oh, I know him. Yeah, he bought it. Okay. So my friends are buying the properties before I'm getting them settled, which is fine because what happens is the whole market gets constrained and there's no other choices out there but for the price to go up. When that happened to me in Detroit, it worked out really well. So it's happening in Arkansas. The market's getting pinched and the prices are, I think, set to go up. Jason Adamek. Good job, Luke. Thanks for everything. Thanks, Jason. Nick. Christmas comes early this year. Yeah, When Christmas comes early, it's December. It's time to check out. Try not to cough in the remote or in the mic. Okay. Rod Hall. Hi, Luke. Enjoyed your recent text exchange. Good, Rod. But a time. Dom's World. We have many inexpensive lots with utilities, even for only $50 to $75. Yeah, $50 to $75 a month. Like, go look through these Arkansas ones. We got owner financing on a lot of them. Feel free to offer owner financing if you find one you like more than others. And I mean, we're covering a lot of the state here, guys. And it's not just like one pocket or two. In the past, we had like a grouping here and there, but I mean, the whole state's starting to fill in with different properties. We got houses. We got vacant lots. We got places where there used to be houses. You get all the utilities. We got places with houses around it, so all the utilities are there. You can just tap into them. A lot of these places don't have zoning, like no zoning. And people say, what does no zoning mean? I'll tell you what no zoning means. It means you can build whatever you want. I have people call me up and they're like, they want to build a place to keep 50 dogs. I mean, okay, you want your 50 dogs, that's great. Glad I don't have to pay to feed all those dogs, or how much time does that take you to feed them all, right? Or the vet bills, or the flea meds, or whatever. Like, there's no rules against it here. There's no rules against the shape of your house. There's no rules against the materials you're building it with, or the height and all these different kinds of restrictions that places put on you elsewhere. They just don't happen in a lot of Arkansas. And so people that want a free outlet to go put a mobile home on there, a manufactured home, or build some crazy home that makes a heck of a lot of sense to them. I'm just calling it crazy because it's not the rules that the other neighborhoods want. I don't think it's crazy, just everyone else thinks it's crazy, so maybe I'm not using the right words. The more creative, artsy homes, You can go do it in a lot of these Arkansas places. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And especially the ones that are outside the neighborhoods and outside the little towns and cities. We've got lots of those on the website. And like Buddy Time's pointing out, a lot of them offer owner financing too. Tom's World. I'm trying to cash out of my pension so I can be in hopes of finding a place to make a home, hopefully. There you go. Raj says, Luke, please give us some knowledge on how to find cheap properties. Yeah, so I think this was I'm going to pull this website up again. I mean, other people see this and they're like, what does it mean? These are properties that people bought for taxes, or some not that much above taxes probably. And this is San Diego County. I've never bought any back tax properties in San Diego County, but I know you can. A lot of, I don't think San Diego County does bid for assets, but I'm pretty sure they don't. But a lot of the counties in California do. And so I've posted tons of properties in Kitsap County going by. When's that coming up? Okay, so I've posted a lot of properties for sale on Bid for Assets, and it's not a very good website to sell properties on, in my opinion. But the states, I'll tell you exactly why I don't think it's a good place to sell properties, and I hope they fix it and change it. And I think it's not a good place to sell properties because when I put a property up for sale there, people can't tell who they're buying the property from. Like, my name is not behind it anymore, and that means a lot to me. I make sure to get people their deeds. I mean, we had Greg earlier on in the call. He's like, "Where's my deed? I paid for it 2 months ago. Where's my deed?" I'm gonna go check that out and get back to him and figure out what the heck's going on with that deed and give him an update, or the deed or the update or whatever I can get out of it, right? Like, I take pride in making sure people get what they should get. And when you sell land or house or whatever kind of real estate obscurely, I just don't think it's right. So when you go to buy land through this website, it's usually from some county or some government organization. And I think that's a lot more reputable. But they also have been bringing in other people that put land up for sale, which I think is great. But I wish it were more like eBay in the way that you'd have a rating on who the heck you are selling land and what people have to say about you, good or bad. And so there's a little bit more policing action happening there. So let's look at California, because I live in California. It's 397 auctions. And so the idea of what you should do on here is look at this. Here's Los Angeles County, California tax sale. 12/10 closes at 12/10. So what's today? Today's the 9th. So this Los Angeles County tax sale closes tomorrow at 4 p.m. And you're probably too late to go join this tax sale. You probably got to put $1,000 or $5,000 or something deposit in and like get your names in there and do your paperwork and stuff before you can go bid. But then you can go bid on it. And they got different deadlines to like get your money in there and go bid on stuff. Deposit, and your bid starts as low as $1,400. Settlement instructions. Here's deposit instructions. You got $5,000 deposit. Yeah, you got to put at least a $5,000 deposit. You probably got to wire the money in, and they'll send you a check or something later. I don't know what the actual logistics are. So it's kind of it's a hardcore auction. Like, you got to put money up whether you're going to bid or not just to have a chance at it. Then they send you the money back, but they charge you some fees on moving the money around. And then there's some other stuff that are like people like me trying to sell their properties in there. Here's some Shelter Cove stuff. Salton Sea, Lucerne Valley, 29 Palms. It's the classic places that vacant landers always trying to sell in California. But if you go to these kinds of auctions and you pick through there, you get the data sets. of what properties, and then you go research them and figure out which ones you want to bid on. I think you could get some pretty cheap properties and then go resell them. So some people make a living off of that, like just hitting these auctions and reselling them. What I'm curious about is the ones that don't sell, and so that's where I'm coming back around to this dude, or these numbers I was presenting earlier. Like how many properties they put up for sale. Yeah, over. Why can't I do it? Okay, so properties they put up for sale over there. Properties sold versus properties offered versus properties sold. Some of them didn't sell. What happens to those properties? Are they negotiable? Guys, you want to get them back on the tax roll, right? Can I give you $5 a property? Can I give you $50 a property? Can I give you $100 a property? $500 a property? Come on, what does it take? And just start offering them, start making them stupid offers. They're not in it to make money. They're trying to get that thing, start paying taxes again. Because right now, nobody's paying taxes on those properties. And if you take it back and start paying taxes on it, like everybody wins out of that transaction. That's a way to get some land for really cheap. Now, is that land really worth something? It might come with liens. It might come with problems. It's a lot more than just doing that. And I think that's where the expertise of doing some title searching on it starts coming into play. So maybe these ones that don't sell are the ones with all the liens and the problems and the real messy, hairy, no access, ridiculous ones that usually end up in the tax auctions. But I think we could cherry pick through there. You can usually cherry pick through there and pick out some good stuff. So that could be one way. The other way is just mail some friggin' offers. So this is going into the gutter to find properties. And San Diego County, I mean, there's thousands of properties you could mail offers on. I haven't tried mailing offers on the mobile homes, but I'm sure there's a bunch of mobile homes in San Diego County. The weather's a lot better down here, so I doubt they route out as fast as like northern Washington. But still, I bet you some of those mobile homes are old, run-down junkers you buy for the value of the land. And we could probably go through data to figure out which ones those are going to be with assessed values and tax rates and vacancies, occupancy kinds of things. I mean, heck, we might even be able to go see if their water's been turned off. Public information stuff. Go to the water company. Somebody turn their water off. Yeah, it's really vacant, dead, done, out. We could hit up multiple lists like that. Do the data scrub to figure out who doesn't. Which properties are there that nobody's living in. That they shut the water off. That the tax rates are low and are basically make an offer for the land value. I bet you hit that list. If you got all those data sets together, you're going to do a deal, even at 20 cents on the dollar for the land or 25 cents on the dollar for the land. Like you do enough data polishing, you're going to get there. That's how you buy cheap land. Bing, 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 bing. Line up all your data. Who's got the highest propensity to sell it to you? And make them an offer. Maybe it's the people that haven't paid their taxes. Maybe it's the people that, like this one I was just learning about the other day. Is it how to get the information on whose water's been shut off? Like, that's a person that needs some money. So, Raj, there's some ideas. Buddy time. Better get that pension out quick. They won't be around much longer. Yeah. Do you ever get land in Tennessee? So let's pull up the maps. Tennessee. Got a couple properties in Tennessee. They're all sold. So everything we've got in Tennessee right now is sold. Should go do some mailers in Tennessee. I bet you could buy up a whole bunch of mobile homes there. Buy houses, buy land, just mail them all. Buy them all, right? Okay, I'm losing my spot. Got a bunch of comments on here that are getting hidden because of people putting APNs in. I'm bringing them live so you can see them. Held for review. Okay, so let me find my place. I got to speed this up a little bit. Okay, got to the Tennessee one. Rod Hall, if you could pick now, what would be the county state you would mail to where? Buy for 10,000, sell for 30,000. Buy for 10, sell for 30. So Rod, buy for 10, sell for 30. So I was just talking about TikTok, and Rod Hall's asking a question: where would I mail right now to buy for 10,000, sell for 30,000? I'm referring to TikTok because, excuse me, I'm still a little under the weather. Because I made all these videos, and I made these videos about properties in many different states, many different parts of the country, and you get an instant response in TikTok. Unlike YouTube, I mean, YouTube, it circles the videos out there some, but nothing like TikTok. TikTok's like throwing gasoline on a fire. It's like whoosh. I mean, crazy, like comments, people going to look at properties, people buying properties, people shopping the properties, people. TikTok is like breathe some fresh air into me over here. I love TikTok. It's just come on strong. And I'm sure later on over time it'll be some other social media. But right now TikTok's hot. And so TikTok is my barometer of answering Rod Hall's question. Rod Hall is asking where to send cash offers for $10,000 neighborhood kinds of cash offers of land I could sell for $30,000. So we're going to want land that trades for $60,000 plus if we want to be selling it for $30,000, right? Buying it at 10 when it's trading $60,000 plus, I'm sure that can happen because I've done that numerous times. A lot of people will say, yeah, right, but yeah, right until you ask for it. You got to ask for it and see if it comes in. So TikTok, I got the most views on like Florida, Texas, Arizona, California. So the southern places, the states that most people are moving to, like if you look at the statistics of where people are moving to and want to move to, those are the states. Florida or Texas even ahead of Florida, but Florida gets a lot of people. Arizona gets a lot of people compared to its population. Arizona might even shine through more than Texas. It's just smaller, right? But Texas is a really big economy. Florida's a really big economy. I mean, so I think I'd be narrowing down to Florida, Texas, Arizona. Arizona is getting mail bombed by lots of guys in lots of different ways. So I'd probably scratch that one off the list, and I'd look at Texas and Florida. Southern Florida is getting mail bombed by lots of guys. I'd probably scratch that off the list, and look at central to northern Florida and Texas, and Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth area seems to be getting pretty hit hard by a lot of mailers. I'd probably scratch that off of that part of Texas. So I'd be looking at Texas outside of Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Florida north of the southern stuff. And I'd be looking for land that is trades for $60,000 plus, or even mobiles. Like I'm starting to, I don't know if you're gonna get mobiles for 10 grand. You might. Give it a try. I'd probably be looking at land that's trading $60,000 plus. I'd start looking at different sizes. I'd be looking at quarter acres, half acres, 1 acres, 5 acres, I missed the 2.5s, the 2.5s, the 5s, the 10s, the 20s, the 40s. I probably wouldn't look at the bigger ones than that. And I'd look at around the areas and see where the asks are, above that 60 grand marker to be able to hit that 30 grand sales price that you're trying to hit. And then I would look at how many of those properties are trading in those areas. So if you go on Zillow, for example, I'll use an example here, Rod. Let's pull up Zillow. Let's do San Diego County as an example. It's not the land I'm talking about, but this is where I live, so San Diego County, California. You can see my Zillow is set for manufactured houses and stuff. I've been working on those. Lots and land. Okay, so we're going to do land, and I'm going to do sold, and I'm going to go to, I don't think I have any size restrictions in here, but you're going to change the size restrictions depending on what kind of size restrictions you're thinking of mailing to hit your numbers. So this is the whole stinking county for any size land, and I'm going to do by recent, newest. Okay, so it might be off the screen up over my head here, but there's like a search thing on there, and you can drop down what to sort it by. So I'm sorting it by newest, and so over my head here is the newest sale in San Diego County, 195 grand. Now that meets your numbers, and it's 2.8 acres, and it was sold on 12/6. What was that, yesterday? Yeah, it was Friday. Well, maybe they don't register them over the weekend, but they did Friday. That one sold. And then Thursday, this one sold on Thursday, $46,000. That doesn't hit your price point. 6,000 square foot lot, Spring Valley. $50,000 lot, that doesn't hit your price point. Ramona, Spring Valley area, 8,000 square foot. $950,000, 15 acres. This was the second. So we're looking at dates: the 6th, the 5th, the 2nd, 11/26, 11/26, 11/21. So, what is that? Like 3 properties a week? 3 vacant properties a week are coming through this market. And so if you keep going back in time, that's like a dozen properties a month, right? And so if you look at that statistic, now jiggle the numbers to get your size to fit what sizes you're thinking of, and look at how much is selling. So the market in San Diego County for vacant land is doing about a dozen properties a month. If I'm doing my math right and I'm counting, I'm not being super exact, right? But you get the idea. Okay, now let's try Imperial County right next door. This one over here. Imperial County, California. Now I know from experience it's a lot harder to sell land in Imperial County. Let's see what kind of timelines this one has. Okay, so the last vacant land that sold in Imperial County was 11/26, and then 11/19, and then 11/14, 10/31. That's like maybe not even one a week. Then there's a couple of them. So maybe it averaged out 1 a week compared to 3 a week. The prices are, I mean, these are higher prices, but they should be a lot less in Imperial County. You know, there's $1,500 lots and stuff. $10,000 lots, $1,000 lots, $1,000, $3,500, $1,500. There's a lot of junky land trading over there. Look at that. So look at where you can get your numbers in those target markets, hotter markets, and figure out where stuff's selling. So you can look at where it's actually selling. And then you could dive deeper and you can say, okay, this one's sold, it's been on the market for 2 days, or it's been on the market for 2 years. Like that kind of data could give you even more 3D information about the area you should be mailing. But I think that would narrow you in a lot more, and you could do a systematic approach across those hot areas. And I think you could hit some really nice mailers. Oopsie says, my favorite time of the week. Real vacant land lessons from Luke, right? Yeah, learning. I'm learning all the time, guys. TikTok. I mean, using TikTok data to figure out where people want to move to. I mean, the TikTok data lines up with the statistics of where people are moving to. It's just, when you go market the land, would you rather have 500,000 people looking at it or 5,000 people looking at it? I mean, I don't want to go mail for land that I can't get people to look at. Like, I'm done with that. I'm getting tired of that. I mean, it still sells and you still make money off of it, but I think if you do it where people want, it's going to happen a lot faster, and it's a lot easier. Okay. Buddy Time says tax auctions are awesome. Not many deals anymore though. People bid them up nowadays. Been to many recently. Yeah, I know. People bid them up. That's what I'm saying. What happens to the ones that nobody bid on? Like, can we? I'm sure it's not just a blanket answer. Lots of people will say, "Oh, you can't buy those." Well, did you ask? Did you really ask? Did you ask the right person? Did you ask them the right way? Like, I'm sure we go deal through a bunch of these counties in the states that actually give you the deed and not some tax lien or some promise or IOU thing. Like, you could actually get the land and go use it real quick without a bunch of weird redemption timelines. I mean, you could study which states are tax deed states and get rid of the tax lien states. You could focus in on those states and then figure out which ones have like the least to no redemption periods, like California, and go buy them up, right? Go make bids, see if any of those counties are open to it. Just like do a deal. You could do a deal with just, hey, we'll just take your whole portfolio off your hands for you, and you don't even have to pay them that much. It's just about getting rid of their problem, right? Buddy Time says, yes, Luke, I'm in. Call me. Also, PR. I'm buying up. Puerto Rico. Nice. Buddy Time doing Puerto Rico. So, Buddy Time, you want to do some deals on the tax auction buy-ups. Buy up the county, roll up the counties. That sounds good. I'll take a note. Okay, I'll give you a call on that. Rod Hall, do you know how long it takes for San Diego to take the property and resell? Wonder is we're seeing a peak in 2018 from the 2008 recession. Yeah, good question. So in San Diego, I believe it's 5 years. Or if there is a nuisance lien, it happens faster. A nuisance lien being like the house is falling like that, it's about to hit the neighbors, or the trash is so stinky we can't get rid of it. Nobody's paying the taxes. There must be a dead body in there, or whatever. So some of these houses get nuisance liens, and I've had that happen on different properties I bought, and like trying to figure it out. Sometimes they'll erase them. Sometimes they'll get rid of them. Sometimes they're just hardcore criminals about those nuisance liens, and you just got to like walk away from the properties. But the nuisance liens, I think in San Diego, it's 2 years. So if you get a nuisance lien on your property and you're not paying it and you're not correcting the problem, they'll take your property in 2 years. But if you don't pay the taxes, I think it's 5 years. And so it's not just taxes that that takes the properties. You got to be careful about that. So I think there's multiple timelines on it, but I believe it's 5 years. So the 2008 timeline to 2018, it doesn't make sense. It's what it probably is like one taxpayer that just went under, that had a whole bunch of lots or a whole bunch of timeshares, or some neighborhood that went belly up, or it's probably like a one-off grouping for that kind of volume to go nuts like that, because it looks like a lot of it didn't sell and rolled over to the next year and still didn't sell. If we got into the data, we got the list of the properties, you could probably tell what it is. It's probably all these, like, I don't know, quarter acre crazy things in the mountains that were made in the 20s when people didn't have maps of topography and they just made squares and sold them or something. I don't know. It'd be up to start a call list. I'd be up to start a call list. Yeah, the Tatted Taylor. There we go. Baldwin 142. I'll help. Well, we got a bunch of guys willing to go for it on these tax deals. I mean, Rod Hall, I will do the over counter for tax deeds with you. Yeah, Rod. So we got a list of guys. So guys, what I need is you to start calling around. Start calling the counties. I think California is going to be the easiest. I know you can do it in California, Oregon, Washington, some of the counties in Nevada. Some of them do tax liens and some of them do deeds. And I'm sure if we started searching around, there's other states that do tax deeds and not liens. I think Florida might be one of them too. maybe Texas as well. We're talking about hot states to do this in. I mean, that would be awesome. You get the West Coast, Florida, Texas, Washington, Oregon, California. I mean, we'd be balling in awesome properties. I mean, I don't want to say awesome properties. They're going to be the worst properties most likely. But if we can get them at the stupidest low prices, we can make them happen. We'll go offer them $5 a property. We'll do the paperwork for you. Some price like that. And they say no, but we'll take this. I'm like, oh, okay. Chef Leo says, I do phone. Yeah, exactly. Alberto Ramos. Hey, looky, I like a property on the website. It's in Apache County, Arizona, but I want to know if I would have to get the soil tested because it's a general agricultural county and any other information. Okay, so he's asking about property in Apache County, Arizona. Let me throw this up behind me. So if you guys don't know where Apache County is, just by chance, to me it's like second nature because I've done so many land deals there, but I'm guessing not everybody knows Apache County. So here's Arizona. And, wow, that didn't work. So let's do this. Okay, so this, you can see up here, this like whole gray area. This is the Navajo Nation. This is like, this whole area, Four Corners area is a big reservation. We got Apache County and Navajo County. So we got two counties here. They're big, long counties. And south of the reservation, we've got Interstate 40 that runs through. So sometimes we got some properties north of the 40, sometimes we got them south of the 40. It's a very different looking landscape, is what I say. So as you're looking at properties north of the 40 or up by the 40, it's a lot funkier ground. Like it's, when it rains, I mean, it turns into gumbo. You're gonna get stuck in stuff. As you go down south here, the water table is a lot shallower. There's a lot more juniper bushes on the land, and the ground seems to hold up better when it rains to drive around on and that kind of thing. There's more cattle grazing around the area. This land down here supports a lot more cattle per acre or per section or whatever than it does up here. There's cattle across the whole area. But so if we're talking about properties down here in this part of Apache County, like here's one, let's just click on this one for example. 37 acres connects to 640 acres of state land. So this property is Dave Ayers, got this one on the website. Dave's been dealing a bunch of properties in Apache for a long time. He's a great guy to ask questions about. His name and numbers right here on the website. And so this is his property. It's 37 acres for $12,900. So if you look at, these are probably actual pictures of the property. They might be the area, but you can see how the roads hold up. And you get these bushes scattered around the area. There's even a little cactus. But it gives you some ideas of what this area looks like. And you get these bushes. So, I mean, what are you going to sample the soil for is the question. This is the kind of ground and registered agricultural. Like, are you trying to grow corn and wheat? Like, you're barking up the wrong tree. Are you trying to have some cows or sheep or something? I mean, that could work, but not very high intensity because this is the kind of ground that they're grazing on. If you're feeding them, that's great. You could do higher density, but just this kind of ground doesn't support a huge amount of head of cattle on the area. You could do some, but not a lot. And so if you're testing the ground for that, or if you're trying to plant something or irrigate something, or if you're trying to test the ground for septic, like if you're trying to get the pee and the poo to go down, right? That's a different kind of test. So this is Apache County. I mean, sure, feel free to go test it, get a septic guy out there and test the properties and stuff. But for the most part, a lot of the people that buy these properties move in their RV and they start living there. And the state wants you to have a septic system and or a plan to get rid of the gray water if you're using a composting toilet. So a lot of the guys that move into these Apache ones don't ever build a septic system, and they just engineer around it. Excuse me. So if that's the reason you're trying to test the land, I mean, maybe that answers some questions. Or if you're trying to test it because it's agricultural and you're wondering about like Roundup or fertilizers or chemicals or something, I mean, this kind of land, and people don't spend money on spreading chemicals because it's like it's not Iowa farmland or something. I don't know how better to explain it. Right? Here's some posts. This might be the actual property marked out, and pictures of the property. Good morning. Thank you for the information. Groovy shirt, man. Yeah, I like my shirt. Going to Bali for Christmas. Hope to get some more shirts in Bali. They make a lot of these shirts there. Last time I was in Bali, I bought a half dozen shirts. Get a lot of the surf companies there. Have cash will travel, exactly. Baldwin 142. You let me know what you need help with. You can email me. Okay. Yeah, guys, on these back tax properties, like if we could negotiate a deal with one of the counties or multiple counties to buy out their properties, like first we'd need to know what properties they have so we can kind of evaluate whether they're worth buying or not, and then what kind of price we could bid for the whole portfolio or the cherry picking ones that we want. If they do them over the counter, I guess is a better question. After the tax auctions, the properties that don't sell, what happens to those properties? Can I buy them? Can we actually get the deeds for, paying for them? What's the process to pull that off? And I can probably finance the purchase of those. I can probably market those properties, turn them into cash, make people happy using them as an alternative source of some lower dollar properties versus continuously mailing for them. And so if you can come up with sets of those properties, we could work out some deal, get you involved in it, making money off of it, and however deep into due diligence or work or finance or whatever parts you're willing to pick up or not. Hopefully I could pick up, be the other part of what you need help with pulling it off, and we could work together on knocking out some of these back tax properties that didn't sell at auction that we could negotiate the prices on, not be in a bidding war with everybody else and their brother in the auctions. Okay, Kimberly Lawson says, I would love for my daughter to win the free land. She is an inspiring real estate investor. She likes vacant land because she thinks the opportunities are endless. Please help her with this. Yeah, exactly. That's what land is about, guys. You can get your hands on vacant land. You can buy it. You can option it. You can do all kinds of contracts and stuff if you don't have the money. And you can come up with ways to improve it and make it better. It's really hard to beat that land up in its natural state. And there's lots of ways you can improve on it to make it better, make it worth more money, and take it from there. I don't know if you guys can hear the dog in the background. It's going crazy on the food. This dog never eats until we get on the live call. Me and the wife want to get into real estate. There we go. Kimberly Lawson. She has been learning about mobile investing. She also thinks Arkansas is a great place to start. I don't know much about land, but the from your website, the APN, something particular, this one. Okay, let's check this one out. So I'm on the website. I'm going to go to the search bar, and I'm going to type her APN in there, 050 0028-000. I would copy and paste it, but I got multiple computers going on. It doesn't bridge the gap. I'm trying to break up that APN's not working. 050-0028-000. Oh, come on. Kimberly Lawson, can you please try again? Can you cut and paste that APN in there? This APN doesn't seem to be working. I'm missing something. Some numbers or dashes or something's missing in your APN. 050-0028-000. Hopefully she hits it back in there and we catch up with her again. Rod Hall, shout out. Just got 2 more leads on my listings on ruralvacantland.com. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Rod. Yeah, thanks for posting properties on ruralvacantland.com. Guys, if you're trading properties and you're trying to get them sold, you're trying to get leads, trying to make them happen, I've got a link down in the video description below that you can sign up to put your properties up for sale on ruralvacantland.com. I charge $200 a month, and if you don't sell anything, you can ask for a refund and get your money back every month you don't sell anything. So you just pay if it actually sells. And it's got to be good quality land. You got to have good customer service. You got to take care of the people that you're doing land deals with, and it's got to be good price stuff. If it's not good price stuff, it scares buyers away, and I don't want it on the website. I want it to be the cheapest land around. So if you can come up with the cheapest land around, land dealer wise, good quality stuff, good service, you're more than welcome to post it on my website. If not, I'll probably ask you to leave. I don't want like realtor market price stuff polluting up the website, if you get my drift. I'm trying to keep it quality so we keep people coming back and get good buyers coming back. And we have a lot of repeat buyers that keep coming back for good quality land deals. And so that's how I'm trying to keep it. I believe I sell more land with your ads, your land listings, your good quality land listings next to mine. And that's why I do this. So thanks, Rod. Tom's World. I have been looking. I see one in Walton County, Florida. I'm originally from Bay County. I see it says coming soon, so I'm in hopes. I just know I have to do something. Yeah, so call Jason Lydiard on that one. We had that one up on the screen before. He's that one's coming. He's probably just settling the last little bit of paperwork or something before he can actually sell it. The Tattered Taylor Scott says, I forgot to add. That's something down through Arizona. Van lifing down through Arizona here shortly. I'll be finishing my mobile shop, then hitting the road. So if you need eyes and ears down there, let me know. Exactly. So if you want to go through different properties that we have on the website and stop on any of those properties and like spend the night or two, and please don't leave trash and stuff, you know what I mean. But if you want to stop on them, take a picture, that'd be great. You just take some pictures and send us pictures about the land. Please just check the website before you stop on those properties. Make sure they're still for sale. But pictures of the actual properties, stories about how you got there and access and stuff would be awesome. Feel free to go spend the night on them, a night or two, and go for it. Thames World. And yes, you're exactly right, Luke. Angel Park. Hi there. Sorry I'm late. Chef Leo, making the most out of fixed income persons. Yeah, God bless the USA. Exactly. I don't know about that. If people are making payments for properties and they want to make payments for properties, why not serve it up to them? Am I saying that right or not? I don't know if he's trying to be sarcastic, Chef Leo. Yes, Livingston. I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing but snow right now. I bet. Snow, right? Okay. My daughter is at work but wants to ask about land where she can live in her camper without government interference. There we go. So we've got land in. We were just looking at land in Apache County. Like I have this stuff up on the screen, so I'm just going to pull this one up. This is Apache County, 37 acres. And Apache County's one. This one looks like it's got a road that goes on two sides of it. The map doesn't look like it's exactly in the right spot compared to the satellite imagery, but you get the idea. Probably goes from that road to that corner. And it looks like there's a little cabin shack mobile home or something over here. And Apache County is one of those counties. You can drive in, go move into the property at 2 a.m. and just live there for years and nobody bothers you. Luke, do you have anything in Loveland, Colorado? Not that I know of. I don't know where Loveland, Colorado is. So let's look up Loveland, Colorado. Loveland. Ooh, that looks snowy. Loveland. North of Denver, south of Fort Collins. Okay, so let's... I'm on the map search on ruralvacantland.com. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to pull up Colorado. We're going to see if we have anything in the area. Did I miss Colorado? Where am I going? Colorado's over here. So Denver's right here. Fort Collins is right there. Loveland is right there. I've driven through Loveland. I just didn't think of it. We don't have anything in Loveland. I'm sorry. We don't have anything in northern Colorado. We should go mail the heck out of that. Might be bigger dollar stuff than southern Colorado. Buddy time. I remember attending the National Cherry Festival in Traverse City, 1996. Good times. I was probably there in 1996. I graduated in 2000. I would have been, I don't know. I was a teenager. Angel Park. I am so desperate to own my own land. Of little with I'm tired of little with my kid and her extended probably living with my kid and her extended family of four with their three cats and two dogs. We have three cats of our own, and they're stuck in the room with us. Oh no, Angel, you gotta go. It's time. It's time to move out. Time to move out. That sounds like some tight quarters. So some people look at the properties I have and they say, who would ever want to live there? Who would ever buy that? And you know what I learned in the past buying properties in Detroit? My sister was she's still living in Detroit in 2008 when the market crashed, and they didn't have any work. They didn't have any work, and she's like, we need something to do. Like, I was making some money at the time, and I said, I've been hearing about all these cheap houses in Detroit. Let's buy some and fix them up, and I'll pay you. There's your job. Go fix up some houses. Find them, figure them out, fix them up. It was so hard to buy those first couple houses. Everybody and their brother was like, you're crazy. No. Like, I even tried wiring money at the bank, and the bankers are like, no, you can't wire money to buy houses in Detroit. Everyone knows that's a scam. That's awful. No way. Like, what are you talking about? My sister's there, and we're buying these houses. I don't care what you have to say. The real estate agents are like, no, you don't, no. And the bankers I was buying these things from, they're like, no, you don't want these. You don't want these. Everyone says no, right? I bought them anyway. And it can't even explain how the value went, like, I can't reach that high compared to where they started. Like, they took off. People started moving in. You know what was the most heartbreaking, or not heartbreaking, it was the most beautiful thing about that was you fix up the house and polish it and get it ready for somebody to move in and put it up for rent. And a bunch of people show up and they're like, I could rent this. I could potentially rent this, and this is where I could live. And it's like, where are you coming from? This neighborhood's not the best neighborhood. And they're like, oh, it's so much better than where I'm coming from. And they would tell their stories of where they're coming from, like these apartments or these living with family, they've never had their own place before. Wherever they're coming from is really tough. And then they move to this place, which is so much better, which other people are picking on because it's not as good and as nice as what they think is where they want to live. And so they just poo-poo it and put it down and make fun of it. And it occurred to me that there's always somewhere worse that people can come from. And so having something in the lower end, selection-wise, cheap, affordable housing is a beautiful thing. And so I'm not the only one that offers that. There's a lot of places out there for rent. You can get Section 8 deals. A lot of people get Section 8 deals if you don't have the money to pay the rent. There's a lot of ways to get Section 8. You should probably look into Section 8 and look at rentals. But if you want to do the vacant land route, maybe look at the jalopy houses, the old dumpy houses we have first. We've got some $2,000 houses or $5,000 houses or $10,000 houses or whatever in Arkansas that you might be a choice for you. I don't think they're habitable for day one, but I'll probably do some owner financing on there if you really want. And you could probably go there, work on them, fix them up, and get them habitable in not too distant future to move into them and have your own place, have your own house, your own utilities, your own yard, your own mailing address, all that stuff. You just gotta ask for it and have the drive to go put it together. I'm still offering those kinds of housings because it's a beautiful thing to be able to offer to people. You get tenants that wrote letters and phone calls and messages. They're just crying happy. Give them the keys to the house and they move in and they're just so happy. Just they don't have anything. They don't have furniture or beds or whatever. Numerous times I bought them beds and I bought them appliances, and they'd never had their own washing machine and dryer before. And in Detroit, you can get them for used ones for really, really, probably all stolen, but really cheap. And it's here you go. And a lot of them, we gave them turkeys and hams and stuff for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that just comes through again too. And you know what they did is they recommended us to their friends. and their families. And that's where we got more tenants. And that's where we got our best tenants. And they would stick around for years and years and years and years, keep paying the rent, we keep taking care of the place, they keep paying the rent. Section 8 rent comes from the government anyway. Maybe you got to collect $100 or $200 a month from them or something to make up the gap. But I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So even if you're not on that side, you could be on the side of fixing up these old jalopy houses, or taking the properties, the mobile home friendly properties, and putting a mobile home on them. Like, the finance to take a mobile home and put on the property is pretty obscenely easy, and the timelines that it takes to do it are pretty amazing too. Some of the other land dealers I'm talking to are getting them done in like a week. I mean, they got land, and they call the mobile home manufacturing companies, and they're like, okay. And the guys come over and they like bulldoze a spot for the mobile home. They put in the septic tank, they hook up the utilities, they put the mobile home in there, and like a week after the order, you got a mobile home. And you can sell the property to somebody either on owner financing, or somebody that can get, VA financing or FHA financing, all these different subsidized financing programs to move in like a week after you got it, the land. Like, amazing. And the yields they get from going from land, adding the mobile, to having a financeable, livable situation, everybody wins. Like, they win really, really well. So could be a beautiful thing too. So Angel Park, you could take the situation you're in, you could fix it for yourself, and you could start fixing it for others, and supplying others with that same kind of opportunity that you take on. I mean, I think you take that problem and turn it into a business, and it could be a very powerful thing. Dankware Administrator says, you have some awesome ideas. I am still on a hunt for NorCal property to build a pole barn shop live space for my family and online business. There we go. A lot of the zoning is going to be hard to do that, Dankware, but I'm sure you figure it out. I think we have some in some Northern California where you want to get away with murder, and a couple options. I got this 10-acre property on Murder Mountain in Humboldt County. To get up to the property, there's a couple checkpoints, like guys guard the road with guns. Like, nobody's going to get up there, including county assessor, county zoning, county inspector, county whoever. And that'd be one way to get away with whatever you want to do. So there is, if you're living up there, the neighbors are neighbors, right? They'll let you in, let you through. I've got a realtor that will take you up there and introduce you to the neighbors and show you how to get in and out and use it and everything. So 10 acres in Humboldt County. Another place for that, on the backside of Shasta County over here, south of Round Mountain, there's a neighborhood. I got one property left in there. So there's a neighborhood here, Ponderosa Private Subdivision, and you can drive in through this thing, go look at this property. This one, people are doing whatever they want in this neighborhood too. Doesn't seem like zoning really reaches out here as well. So that could be one where you could go build a shop and go for it. Angel Park, do you have anything around the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas? Most Texas stuff I find in the Hudspeth area, which is too close to some questionable areas yet. So let's see. Dallas-Fort Worth, I think we're all sold out of Dallas-Fort Worth. It's a very, very competitive market. Not saying there's no deals there. I mean, you could totally do deals there. If you find them, they're going to sell fast as crazy. There's Dallas-Fort Worth, and we got some off to the side of town by Lake Fork. There's a couple properties over here. These are like RV kinds of properties, maybe mobile home properties, but they're not really where you'd want to go build a full-on house. I think the rest of everything in that area is sold out. So we've got are you giving away any land? Looking in Colorado near schools but secluded. Yeah, I'm going to give away some land, guys. I think I got to take a little break and run to the bathroom. I'm going to be back. I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm going to hit mute here. I'm going to be back in a couple minutes. If you guys want to take a break and come back, that's great. I just need to take a break. I'll be right back, and we're gonna give away some land. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. I think the mic's still on. I meant to hit mute. Okay, guys. Let's see if anyone stuck around. I'm gonna keep going. Sorry, I've been under the weather. I'm just dragging on multiple fronts. Let's keep going. I'm glad we don't have to do this in person. I wouldn't want to shake your hand or be in the same room with you. Buddy Time says, all my Texas sold, but I have one New Mexico and many AR. Yeah, so Buddy Time's willing to do owner financing, and he's saying he's got land in New Mexico and in Arkansas. He's in the chats going by. Andrea says APN. She drops APN number. I'm an inspiring real estate investor who would like to start mobile home investing. I think Arkansas is a great place to start. Yes, the towns are small. Okay, so she's got the APN. She's dropping APN number here. Let's see if we can pull this one up. So APN 050. I think this was... Looks like one more zero than the one we tried before. Yeah, so here we go. $499. $500 prop. Oh, I don't have it on the right screen. Here we go. So I got it on the right screen now. So this one, Chico County, the state says it's a silent T. I've had like 5 different people tell me I pronounce it wrong, and they all give me hints on how to pronounce it. Some say it's like Chico. I'm sure I'm butchered it. $499, and we got a bunch of pictures of like satellite and stuff. Here's power line. There's a street going in front of it. There's probably a power line right in front of it. Here's a property. This looks like we can do street view. We'll do street view on this thing. So there's a street there. Looks like power line going right there. This one's not north, south, east, west. So let's here's right in front of the property. Let's blow this up, see if we can look at it. Yeah. So you probably put a mobile in there, right? You have to clip some branches and trees. I don't know if you'd have to cut the tree down or not. If you could fit one in here, depending on the width. You talk to some of the mobile home guys, go to one of those mobile home dealers. I mean, they'll come do the site evaluation. They'd probably want you to put like a pipe in here because it might be some water going through here. So you probably go to like your local tractor supply store and get a corrugated pipe. You can get a steel one, or you get a cement one, or I like the polyurethane plastic ones. You can actually pick them up and carry them around. They're a lot easier to cut and stuff. Not that you need to cut one, but you just dig and then throw that thing in there and put a bunch of gravel over it. You got a driveway. You can put your mobile right through there and back it right in. Looks like there's one next door here with a power pole, power drop there. Looks like they've got a power drop, so there's probably a transformer here somewhere. There's a transformer, they might be able to drop it right off of that transformer there. There's street lights on this street, a couple houses in the area. Yeah, so if you just go over to like, I can't think of the name of it, the company right now. There's some different, just look for a mobile home dealer in Arkansas. I mean, they'll deliver the mobile home right here, manufactured home. And you could probably finance it for, less than you can rent it out, and you got a positive carry, just like reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad books, get a positive cash flow, buy an asset that pays you and not one that you have to pay. And that starts killing bills, right? So there's the idea right there. It's a good looking one. So this is Andrea. And taking notes. Okay, so let's see who else we got. Kimberly Lawson. She has been learning about mobile investing. She also thinks Arkansas is a great place to start. I don't know much about the land but from your website, APN. So this one, so Kimberly's got a different APN. And I'm wondering if this is APN already tried. I think this is the one I tried. Yeah, okay. We need an APN that works, guys. Angela Park. If I win free land, then anywhere is fine with me, but need something less than an hour away from a major city. There we go. Alberta. Hey, Luke, I'll give you $900 for this property. ID number. Let's take a look at this one. 201 371 155A. So Alberto says he'll offer $900 for this one. I'm pulling it up in the background, see which property it is. This kind of looks like an Arizona APN, I'm guessing. My searches aren't working today, guys. 201 371 155A. I wonder if it's a split. Hence the A. I kill some of these other websites while I'm waiting. Alberto, I don't know what's wrong. Either my searches aren't working or something wrong with this APN number. I might take $900 if I know what property it is. Baldwin 142. It says Bay counties are sold. Yeah. Andrea, if I won the land today, by this time next year, I could help some with a home to live in at an affordable price and be able to buy some more land from you. There you go. The Tattered Taylor Scott says, if you have any property near water in a sunny state, I'll promo out a free custom bikini to your buyer. There you go. Iowawa, you can scratch my jumpers, wash my overalls. I'll ride that train they call the Cannonball from Washington to Buffalo. Hey, looking for Luke live land deals. Here we go. Iowawa singing Tattered Taylor free drop. So the Tattered Taylor must make bikinis, I guess, or he makes different. She. No, Scott's probably he. Makes clothes. He's talking about making a bikini to somebody that's buying some land near some water. He says he's going to free drop ship it. Chief Leo, ranchers, Tattered Taylor. I only sew them, I don't clean them. There you go, Scotty. I'm on SSI, SSD, only $850 a month. Not good. Yeah, $850 a month is a pretty tight budget. Um, Buddy time. No zoning means you can go pee off your back porch and make moonshine in your backyard woods. There you go. There's a definition of no zoning. I need you on TikTok answering questions for me. Um, Raj Kumar says, friends, any of you know how much would a $1,300 square foot cabin in woods? So I think Raj is trying, I don't know if you're trying to buy one or build one, or how much would a 1,300 square foot cabin in woods? Maybe you guys can answer, Raj. I'm not sure. Like, you get these different rules of thumbs about construction prices. I mean, it's gonna, on a smaller square foot like that, it's probably a little bit bigger because you still got the kitchen and appliances and things in there. But I mean, Texas, I mean, you might be talking about $100 a square foot for the crazy neighborhoods they slap out in masses. California, you might be talking $200 a square foot or $250 for the super manufactured ones. For the custom ones, you might be talking $300, $400, $500, maybe $1,000 a square foot to build the place. So 1,300 square foot times that by $200 a square foot or $250 a square foot. Look up building costs for the area. What's average building cost for the area per square foot? And then take that number and times it by the square footage that you're trying to figure. And there'll be different grades, standard grades, and the prices vary across the country with lots of different things, like if you're winterizing it or not, and stuff like that as well. His website, here you go. Buddy Time Scott, $50 a month, and you can look you can lock up a parcel. Exactly. Buddy Time's doing some easy financing. Dankware Administrator, I've been renting for 11 years and maintaining someone else's home and land. I'm ready to find my land for my wife and kids to build. We are dream and being priced out of everywhere we grew up in. Yeah. I mean, the prices are going up all over the place. You got to get more creative. You got to go somewhere you never heard of, somewhere that nobody else wants to go. You got to be the contrarian. You buy when blood's running in the street, right? Buy when nobody else wants to buy. And sell when the ducks are quacking. That's what my old boss used to say. When the ducks are quacking, you got to feed them. And so right now, I think some of the places that people aren't going is like Arkansas. Arkansas is stupid cheap. Stupid cheap. I mean, you could probably say the same about rural Mississippi and Alabama and a whole bunch of the South. A lot of rural South stuff. It's not on the radar. It's really cheap. You can get good weather. You can get good food. You can get a lot of good stuff. You can get Amazon to deliver everything else the locals are missing. And you can be on the internet to talk to people. You don't have to even talk to the locals anymore. Like, we got social media. That's what most people are communicating anyway. Scott Avery, Cali, not for me. Exactly. Flynn Vincent, Cali's not for me either. Yeah, that stuff costs too much. You don't want to pay for California. Scott Avery, I've been watching, just haven't seen anything yet. There we go. The Tatted Taylor. Salton Sea, I've seen that. What county is that in? Guys, I used to sell some land around the Salton Sea. That's a hard sales pitch. So the Salton Sea, if you guys have ever visited Salton Sea, there's this beautiful nature preserve on this side of it. It's called the Sunny Bono Wildlife Refuge, and they have free parking and free picnic tables, and they've got some trails. If you look at all this watery stuff over here, they've got water coming off of the crops before it gets into the solidified salty stuff. Yeah, here's Sunny Bono Salton Sea National Wildlife Refuge. So if you go there, they've got these nature trails. On one side it's salt, and on the other side it's fresh water. And the birds go crazy. You get all these birds coming from Mexico and Canada and up and down. They come from everywhere. Different seasons, different birds. See freshwater birds and saltwater birds. And it's a beautiful place to visit. I like that part of the Salton Sea. The rest of it, I mean, you can have it. The Salton Sea goes up and down with the sun and the level of irrigation water that flows into it. And there's massive algae blooms that kill off the fish. And so the fish, the tilapia, grow like, and then they die, and then they grow, and they die, and they grow, and then you go walk across the shore, and it's just like ankle deep dead fish, and they stink, and so many dead fish, the birds don't even eat them all. Like, it's just ridiculous. And so a lot of people are worried about the sea level going down and the particulate matter in the air with the wind coming across there, whipping it up and making it poor air conditions. Every time I've been there, one of the farmers in the area seems to be burning their fields, and the smoke just sits in this area. The sea is like 230 or 250 foot or something like that below sea level, and so it's a really dense air already, just because of how low you are below sea level. And so it always feels like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, right? And then the air just sits in there and just gets nasty. There's just a lot of big farming tractor stuff and nasty air. Just I don't like that side of it. So I'm not much of a salesperson for this area. People always trying to sell me land there. It's like, nope, you can have it. Yeah, Salton Sea. Okay. It's in, so the southern part is Imperial County, and then it goes up into Riverside County. I think the northern part's Riverside County. Buddy Time's showing, he's more information in there. Okay, so guys, when you're putting your phone numbers and emails and stuff in there, they're getting like blocked out. I'm showing them because I don't care if you guys are marketing in the feed. That's more power to you. Let's see if I can approve a bunch of this comments that are being hidden, and see if I can find my place again. Jason Cochran saying a lot of timeshares in San Diego tax auctions. Yep, I bet you that's what it is. I bet you that's what that big chunk of the tax auction is. Jason's local here in San Diego County. I bet you he hit the nail right on the head. Angel Park, quick question. I requested a file about tax liens from the city a month ago, and they sent me a list, but I can't open it because it's a TRW file. Any ideas how to open it? I mean, TRW file? I just Google what the heck is a TRW file or how to open a TRW file. I have no idea. It's probably some kind of old archaic thing that the government uses. I'm sure I'm missing some comments in here, guys, but it's like we're into 2 hours now, and I'm trying to skip through here. Dankware say, good idea. Land with mobiles, easy to work with laws and being, yep. I'm on mobile and bouncing between the site, and this feed is tough, but I'm hanging on. I'm okay. I could win a chunk of land. There we go. Quick question. I requested a file about tax liens. Okay, so I'm getting caught up here. Scott Avery is asking, how do I contact Buddy Time? So Scott, if you're on the website, if you're on ruralvacantland.com, Buddy Time is Michael Buddy, and if you go on here under listings, you go landowners. He's in the list of people on the website. You get phone numbers, contact information, everything. Yeah, right here. Michael Buddy. Hopefully I'm saying the last name right. Phone number, email. So his contact information is on the website, along with a lot of these other guys. Yasser's in the chat talking to his contact information here on the website. So, and whoever else shows up in the chat, we've got numerous different people selling properties on the website. I vouch for all these guys. Scott saying, looking for a few acres near water for panning. Tired of being poor. Need near medical services. I have 3 boys. For panning. I'm not sure which ones I'd use for panning. On the water for panning. I'm not sure, Scott. Can't think of one off the top of my head. Okay, APN, here we go. Andrea's got another one. So Andrea's in the hot seat so far because she's actually got me an APN number that works. And now she's giving me another one. Let's see if this works. So she's probably going to be the one that wins the land unless I see some more entries in here of like really good land for sale that you can pitch the case on. I'm gonna give land to Andrea pretty soon. Flat mobile home land with utilities. Yeah, check that out. $599. Hopefully the grass is still clipped and everything. Look at that. So this is Chicot County again, and if we blow this up, which side of the street? Am I looking at the wrong side of the street? This looks like, I think this is it. Looks like a power line there in the back, and looks like a field. You just drive right in. I mean, doesn't look like it takes much of anything to get that property ready. Looks like there's a mobile across the street. Other people are doing it. A couple of them down the street. Looks like they're growing something in their yard. I mean, how hard would it be to put a mobile on that property, right? Go talk to the mobile home companies. They'll probably deliver a new one with like hardly anything down. You know, they do really good, easy finance to make these things happen. Probably end up getting the money from Warren Buffett. He finances them. So that's a good looking one, Andrea. That's a nice looking property. McCat. Hello again, everyone. I'm still hoping to win some Arkansas land so I can have a place to call home. Off-grid is perfectly fine as I'm currently off-grid anyway. Thanks, Luke. So McCat, show me a property. Which one? Like these, you know, these Arkansas properties, like this one here in the background, right here. Like, I'm not going to give this one away. I've already got it lined up and ready to go for sale and everything. I'm asking $599 for this property. But if you go look at one and say, hey, this is the one that, this one's really economic, or I want this one because, or this one's special because, this one's going to change my family's situation because, like, tell that story in the chat here, and you'll be in the running for winning a free vacant, you know, free piece of property. I'll do up the paperwork and get you the property. So I'll pay for it and do the paperwork, and the paperwork's a lot of it. The money's, you know, I got to pay, but the paperwork probably costs me more time and energy than the money. So please tell me like the APN number of that property so I could pull it up here on the show and talk about it. That's the point of this. That's how you're going to win some land. That's the game we're playing. It's a treasure hunt. You go find the best deal and show it, explain it, tell us about it. And if you got the best one for the day, I'll give you a piece of land. Jonathan Lane, I found this great idea for someone who might want to start a business where people can rent out with a lot of different sizes for different needs. Found idea on YouTube video. Okay. Buddy time. Scott, I live in Southwest Colorado right now, half year, and Puerto Rico half. Nice. Dankware administrator. Cool idea on free land. It got me watching for months and got some great ideas on what I would need. Thanks, Luke, for keeping me learning new things. I'll be tuned in for free land or not. Sounds good. Backwoods Bungalow. Your YouTuber Rusty, whatever, recommends Texas Hill Country close to Lake LBJ. I don't know where that is. McCat, I watched just to learn, but could still desperately use the land. Thanks, McCat. Scott says, I was thinking of opening a snowball stand where they are few and far between. Exactly. Luke is awesome. Thanks, Scott. Andrea, I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube teach about mobile home investing. I can't afford their training. And at the end of the day, it all start with land. Yeah, I mean, for mobile home, you got to have the land, right? Like, how are you going to get the land? Like, you got to have a place to put the land. They're not really making any more of it. You know, there's a huge barrier of, I don't like it when people say land, they're not making any more of it. It's like, I make land all the time. I buy this one, cut it up, sell a bunch of pieces off, here you go. Just made a bunch of new land. I mean, that's not the same definition of what people are thinking, but it makes land usable to a lot more people. In the same way, you could take a property like this, build an apartment complex, and make it useful for, I don't know if you could fit 100 people in an apartment complex like this or 100 doors, but think about the multiplier effect of taking some land like this and turning it into an apartment complex. Everyone says land, they're not making any more of it. No, but they make it usable by a lot more people, and that unlocks value in land. This is I don't think there's zoning here that would keep you from doing that. The market's probably like you probably find better places to go build an apartment complex, but you know, the idea's there. Um, I want to win land too. I'm so excited about this. I have so many ideas for a shared space. Nice. I'm sorry I couldn't explain better about my idea. I was only able to write so much. My idea is a motel of tiny houses beach motel. There you go. Yeah, so a bunch of tiny houses by the beach. I mean, you could totally do that. Find the right zoning, I'll let you do it. Sorry about my grammar at work, trying to stay in the game. It's backwoods. Andrea, YouTuber John Fidro is working out how to buy old mobile homes and fix them up for resale. He shares his experience without asking for money. Nice. Should check that guy out. I live in Florida, Northwest. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks, Scott. So Florida works. That's why I want land here. Panama has my heart. Exactly. Like, the land in Florida just gets a lot of attention. When you go market the stuff, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna." I don't know if they actually do so much, but a lot of people say they're gonna there versus a lot of other places. Backwoods bungalow. Andrea, I agree. It all starts with buying vacant land. Luke is leading the way on finding cheap rural vacant land. I hope so, or just keep bringing it up, right? Blake Jones, Luke, do you use the standard O2O offer letter? Do you say in some cases you can have a check there in 2 to 3 days, or have you removed that because you're no longer self-closing? Blake Jones, good question. Blake, I wanted to ask too, did you get updates from my back office? Because you were asking about status of mailers and status of things that we're involved in. I hope you got updates from my back office. I've been like out of it sick trying to catch up, and I saw that going by and they were going to give you some updates. So hopefully you got some updates for what you're looking for. So to your question, Luke, do you see the standard O2O offer letter? Do I still use the standard? I changed a couple things. Like I changed where it used to say vacant land, I changed it to real estate because a lot of people call and say, hey, it's not vacant. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You can leave stuff there. Like your house, I'll take that too. I changed the closing time to, I don't know, 10 days or something. Like sometimes I do close them in 10 days. Like, I mean, title, we can still do title in 10 days. So why not say that? And sometimes I still do self-close them. I don't do it as often as I used to, but I still do some self-closings. And but I've been trying to do more title actions. I went from abhorring title in the past and saying how horrible it is to use title because of all the money and the time and everything, to loving having a third party in between in the transaction that I can point at when somebody says something's wrong and be like, go talk to title. Because when I'm doing it myself and they say something's wrong, it's like, oh man, I keep fixing stuff, and I fix stuff that the title does. I mean, I don't know if I've given you guys this example before, but I just had one. Sold a property in California. It was like, I'll leave the acreage out of it, whatever. But this particular property had a half interest in a water spring, spring that comes out of the ground kind of spring. And the neighbor next door had a half interest in the water that comes from that spring. And so it has, the water rights. You drill a well and that kind of stuff too. But the water that comes out of the spring, half of that is owned by the property. And so when I bought the property, the legal description had 3 different describers on there. The parcel, the access easements, and the spring. So parcel ABC or piece ABC to the legal description. And I bought it through title. I bought it through title shop. And I bought it through one title shop and I sold it through a different title shop. Just because I was doing a lot of business with the new title shop at the time of the sale. And a month or 2 months or maybe 3 months later, the buyer called me up and they said, "Hey, what, who'd you sell the water rights to? Like, why didn't I get the water rights on this thing?" It's like, "What do you mean? I didn't sell them to anybody. They're your water rights." But it's not on the deed. I'm like, "Really? It should be on the deed. It should be the exact same thing that we bought. Transferring it to you. Should just copy the legal description from the purchase over to the sale." And I look it up, and I didn't have like the deed because it went through title, and a notary came to my door and like, "Here, sign here." I'm like, "Okay, sign it." And then I should have compared the legal description on the sale like I do when I do these things on my own. I should have compared the legal description on the deed when I was selling the property from the one that I bought, and it was missing. It was missing the water rights to the spring. And so I pulled it off the county records, the lady was asking about it, and I looked at it, and sure enough, it was missing the water rights to the spring. It was like part 1, part 2, where's part 3? It just left it off of there. I'm like, well, what the heck, So I called the title company. I'm like, you just take a phone call while you're typing out the legal description and then not get back to the rest of it or something? Let's just do a corrective deed, add it on there, and let it fly. And they're like, no. Like, what do you mean, no? Like, well, we don't do title insurance on the water rights. Like, what do you mean you don't do title insurance on the water rights? I'm like, well, we don't cover water rights. We don't title insurance. We insure the transfer of the property, but not the water rights. Like, okay. So you usually have like a list of exceptions of what you don't insure. Just put that under the list of exceptions. And we looked at the paperwork and other transactions from the same shop, and in the list of exceptions was the water rights. Whether they're there or not, it's just in their list of exceptions, the stuff they don't cover. Like, they don't cover most anything, but they just missed, right? They left it off and they just didn't do it. And so the lady's like, "So where's my water rights?" I'm like, "Well, they won't do it through the title company. They won't do insurance on it. We can't transfer it through the title shop." And they didn't tell me, they just left it off. So I'm going to make you a new deed, and I'm going to deed it from the names of the, that bought the property to you. And so, by the time you put these two deeds together, land, access, and water rights, you got the whole package again. She's like, okay. And so I end up having to fix stuff that the title company should be doing in the first place. And the paperwork and the time and just the whole aura of making the customer happy, giving them what I'd said I was going to give them. And it's just frustrating. It's a real estate transaction, and there's just always stuff going on and on. So I'm just always fixing. Hitting wrong buttons. Okay, let's keep going. I'm getting sidetracked. Backwoods fun. Luke, the harsh San Diego winter is giving you a sore throat. Exactly right. Guys, we got, I think it was like 8 inches of rain in 1 week. And our average is like 9 something a year. And so we got pretty much all our rain in 1 week. Guy says, do you have to test if you want to build a house over the land with zoning as general agricultural county? I think it's the same guy that's asking about Apache County. General agricultural, you could still build a single family residence on it, but do you have to test the land? I don't know what you're testing it for. Like, you're testing to make sure that the foundation's stable, or that you can do septic. That's usually what people might test for. Apache County is pretty stable ground mostly. They'll just engineer the kind of foundation you do, because part of the ground in Apache, people worry about when it's dry, and then when it gets wet, and then when it's dry, and then when it gets wet. And so if you have a foundation over the top of that that's not built for that kind of ground movement between seasons, it can crack up. So maybe that's what you're testing for. But it's usually engineering about how thick you build the thing and how deep you set it and stuff to offset that. You want to keep the humidity out from underneath the ground. You don't want to pave over the wet ground. Posh Closet says, if I win free land, I would use it for a new beginning and to get involved in real estate. I also would pay it forward by allowing someone to stay in their RV for free while they save up for the land. Nice. Buddy time. Colorado is expensive. I live here. Denver area is more per square foot than New York City. Denver's been flying. Anything new coming up? Northeast Texas. Not that I know of, but we're always got new properties coming. You just got to keep checking the website. There's like near 20 people on the website, and you just got to check in, see what they have. Like I can't keep track of what's coming up, and that was a good idea for Detroit. Yeah, Detroit was nice, but it's now it's on to the next. It's a learning curve, right? Do you have email, buddy time? Yes, that's classic investing in any market. When everybody says sell, you buy. When everybody says buy, you sell. Be the contrarian, exactly. Making it better for everybody. Cannot afford a mortgage, looking at for Colorado. Would love to pan for gold. Doing the right thing for the betterment of all comes back. Everyone profits. So I'm gonna scan through some of these and see if we have anyone more that's talking about a specific property. If we don't have anyone more in these comments that's talking about a specific property, I think Andrea's going to get it just by default, because no one's explaining like a specific property. I think you guys are going back and forth. Dan says, hi, first time here live. So you search counties in California for tax liens. I haven't in the past. That was just an idea for today's show. And if anyone wants to help me with it, maybe we could pull some off. And California is not a tax lien state. Like Arizona is a tax lien state, for example, right? So if I wanted to go invest in back tax properties in Arizona, it would be more of an income play, starting out as an income play, turning into a foreclosure play. You've got to do the legal paperwork. They put the legal hassle off on the investor in Arizona. To be the bad guy that kicks the person out of the home or off the land or whatever and actually takes it over. So if you don't pay your taxes in Arizona, somebody else pays them for you, and then you owe that person. And if you continuously don't pay your taxes, that person takes the land from you, not the county. So some of the counties got out of being the bad guy and just said we want our money quicker, and so they turned into tax lien states instead of tax deed states, where California is a tax deed state. I think Michigan, I know Michigan's a tax deed state as well. So if you don't pay your taxes in Michigan, they take the land away and they sell the land at auction. If you buy it at auction, you get the land. You're not messing around like waiting for collections and everything else. You get the land. Same thing in California, you get the land. So I was thinking we go through and roll through all these states that have that kind of setup, and all the counties that have land that they haven't sold at auction, and see if those properties are worth buying for $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000, $50,000, whatever. Give them some low cash bid compared to the asset to just buy out their stuff that didn't sell at auction at a negotiated price lower than the taxes that they were trying to collect at auction they weren't able to collect. I thought that could be a good idea for someone. If someone wants to work on that with me, we could find them. I could help finance them, sell them, that kind of thing. Crypto Beacon, still here. Take down medicine. Take down medicine and get well soon. Exactly. Vivian, Nevada. Land Academy or House Academy? Biggest upside and biggest downside for each, please. Nice. Dr. J. So I haven't studied House Academy yet. I've studied Land Academy. And so I signed up to Land Academy a long time ago. I pulled it up on a website here. Be a good reason to plug these guys because they've taught me a lot. So let's do Land Academy. So it's Steve Butala and Jack DeWitt are the gurus over here at Land Academy. And so they have, podcasts and memberships on like websites, and they've got a bunch of stuff, bunch of tools to be able to buy and sell land. And they're starting to get into houses, right? And so I think, would you ask the biggest upside and biggest downside for each, please? So I'm going to show you a piece of what they do. So Land Tank, they've got this website called Land Tank. Let's see if there's any deals on here. I don't know if you can sign into this without being a member or not. Let's see if they have any available postings. Okay, look at this. So this website, if you have a land deal that you want to finance, I think you got to be a member to do this. You can post it on this website. And then these are the ones that have been partnered. So there's nothing available right now. There's no deals available for partner right now. But the last one that was just posted on here was me. Look at this. I posted a deal on here for 48 grand. Like, hey guys, I need a partner. I need 48 grand for this deal. And it was on there for maybe like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes before I got the money to finance the deal. And the guy that's putting the money up to finance the deal is great. He's financed one other deal with me that I can think of, but it's great to work with. Really good people, educated in land dealings, right? So that's really cool about Land Academy. House. So that's Land Tank. There's House Tank too. So if you're a member, I'm pretty sure you have to be a member to actually use these websites and go through the education of knowing what the deals are and stuff. Let's see what the available postings are. So here, there's no houses available right now. So if you get a house that you can buy and you say, okay, I need someone to put up the money for me to buy this house, you can do it. So here's some houses they put on the website. And so this is newer than the land one, but so I'm not sure they really got this website up and running yet. It still says by House Academy deal funding. So this is, I think these are like in-house kinds of deals, like not actually on this website yet. But I figure I could go buy houses, a couple $100,000 houses or whatever, and put them on the website and be like, hey, I need money. We can buy the thing at like 50% of the market and sell it at 80% of the market like the next day. I need the money to do the deal. Let's split up the funds this way, that way, slice. Here we go. Everybody wins. And I could do 20 deals at a time instead of one deal at a time. If I use my own money, I could do one deal. If I do other people's money, I could do 20 of them, right? And so I could make a lot more money. I don't think this side of House Academy is up and firing yet. Maybe if I started posting some houses, I'd kick it off and it'd start going. But it's working on Land Academy. So the funding side of Land Academy is up and firing and happening. So the other information, like there's a ton of history in Land Academy with these guys. The House Academy is new. Like they don't have the history going on there. So I think that's kind of the difference of them. Biggest downside for each, please. Biggest downside for Land Academy, I think, is when you go to sell land, there's just less people out there buying land than there are houses. Houses, I think, are a lot easier to sell, a lot faster to sell if you get them at discounted prices. Like if you put them out there in the market at stupid cheap prices, people think you're crazy and like close quick. In land, they're like, oh, it's vacant land. Of course it's crazy cheap prices. You're like, hey, I had to wrestle a bear to get this thing at a good price, and I'm selling it at a good price, and it's still hard to sell. And so I think that's the difference. The difference between Land Academy and House Academy. I think the financing's totally there on the Land Academy side. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the financing's totally there on the House Academy side. And but if you can pull off the house side, I think the sales are going to be like bam, 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 bam. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna maybe over this break I'll take on House Academy and go crank that out too. I'm not sure. I haven't jumped into it yet. Luke is definitely the best. Learned quite a bit so far. Thanks, Baldwin. Ewan, yeah, I'm learning a lot too. Backwoods. Chico property is handy for bank, sandwich shop, church, and funeral home. All needs covered. There we go. You know what I saw in some of these properties? Like I had a couple, 2 or 3 of them, and then across the street was like a car wash, right? I always wanted a car wash. That was like one of my dreams as a kid, is to have, cement block with a tin roof, just freaking hardcore. A tornado can hit it. You can spray paint it. You can throw snowballs at it. You could hit golf balls at it, whatever. You could back the car into it. It's still there, a car wash, right? Like just hardcore friggin' car wash with some hoses and some power guns to blast off the car, like DIY thing. You put quarters in there. Maybe it takes dollars and cards now. The fancier ones actually take a credit card. And, but the idea was to cash, like it's just a cash cow. Like you can open the till and be like, whoa, there's my cash. Well, where'd that cash go? Whoop, whoop, aha. Not that that's what I do, but you could, so like it would be nice to have a cash flowing business around somewhere that's just like cash on hand. Like, oh no, I can't pay the bills or I got myself in trouble, whatever. You run over to the car wash and see how much is in the bucket. You might have an oil drum underneath the quarter machine and behind the wall or something. You gotta start doing gallon buckets of quarters out of there, taking them to the bank. Like, I would love to have one of those machines. It's like a real cash machine. And how much does it really cost to build those things? I mean, cement blocks, and some cement, some hoses, some power sprayers. You probably don't even need the roof most of the time, right? You start out with a cheap one. And in these Arkansas properties, there's no zoning. You could build one in the neighborhood. And it could be like, the homie hangout. You could play music, whatever. So you do something. Let the locals name it. Have the local high school come over there and work on it. Hire them to build it. Whatever. Something like that. I'm sure there's angles. I'm not saying I'm going to go build them, but just dreaming out there. Numbers. It would be so nice to have a cash machine, especially in driving range. I could go rob that thing's bank whenever I needed cash to do something. Dan Infrid. If I called any county in California, is there a tax lien deed office? Yeah, so if you're calling the counties in California, I would call the tax collector and I would ask them. I would call the assessor and I would ask their office. I don't think it's going to be a tax lien office because there's no tax liens in California that I know of. Maybe you guys should educate me on that, but I'm pretty darn freaking sure there's no tax liens in California. They're deeds, so tax deeds. What happens to the properties after after they don't pay the taxes? The county sits on them and they keep trying to collect and collect and collect. And so the ones that are past those deadlines, what are you doing with them, guys? Could I can I make an offer on them? You got a list of them? No, I don't want to go to the auction. Everybody and their brother's at the auction. I'm the contrarian guy. I just want to take all those other ones that aren't at the auction and buy them over the counter. Like, what is the process to buy those properties? And can I get a list of them? I can do just, APN number. I can do my own research from there. County APN number. And I can do my own title search, access search, easement search. I can search all this stuff. You don't have to spend any time telling me about the property. Just give me the APN number of the property. I'll figure it out and I'll make you an offer. But if I make you an offer, could you actually go with it if I make you an offer that's below the taxes that are due on the property? If they're able to, I don't know if they're willing or not, but if they're able to, is there a process to submit those offers? Does it have to be in person? Does it have to be on a certain day of the month? Does it have to be, like, here's my cashier's check with my offer? Does it have to be, here's my personal check, here's my offer? Is there special paperwork? Like, what's the dance I have to do to present my offer to you if you're able to accept one of my offers? I think that's the question, and I would propose that to the tax collector and the assessor's office and see who's got an answer. They might direct you to somebody in the county that's the answer. It's probably going to be the tax collector himself or herself in that particular county, especially the smaller counties. So there we go. And LA County is going to be like crazy flooded with that stuff, I'm thinking. Scott Avery, I have 5.87 acres in Park County near 3 bodies of water. Nice. Scott Avery, would love to pan for gold. Email me. I could no longer afford. It looks like I had a little drop off for a minute or something there in the video. Sorry about that, guys. Seems like we're back online now. Would love some South Alabama land. Yeah, still interested. Eastern. Oh, I'm losing my spot. Okay. Andrea is still putting APN numbers. I don't see anyone else. Here's one. Let's see. Thames World. Okay, so we got a couple more APNs. Let's try to get into these. Okay, so here's APN. Andretti. I'm sorry, I'm butchering the name. Someone's got an APN here. 305-04191. I think this is Arkansas. This is Guillermo Andretti. I'm bad with names. I'm sorry. So he's asking about this one. So there's 2 APNs. He's got so 2 APNs. So I'm asking $19.99, basically $2,000, and there's 2 houses, 2 different APNs on here, and yeah, there's 2 houses for $2,000. And he's saying, I'm interested in these properties. I can't pay cash. Do you think you can help me? This is APN. Yeah, so Guillermo, how much can you pay? Can you do a down payment? Can you pay some over time? Can you make some payments over time to this and go for it? The thing I'm worried about with these old houses like this is you got to get over there and start working on them. Because what will happen is if they go on as old vacant houses for too long, the city will come in and they'll bulldoze these things, and then you don't have a house anymore. So if you can't pay for it in cash, and you're making payments over time, how much time are we talking? I want a really short timeline, because I don't want it to be a long timeline of payments and then the city comes in and bulldozes a sucker. There's a lady in Bleethville. You can get her on the phone. She's code compliance lady, and it's Jill or Janelle, or I forget her name. I've got her phone number, but if you look up code enforcement in Bleeth, you can talk to her and you can see if these houses are where they're at in the docket to get bulldozed. So they might be 2 years from now. They might be 2 weeks from now, and once they bulldoze them, they put a lien on the property that says, we want our money back for the cost of bulldozing this sucker. And when they do that, it's kind of I'm just whatever, go ahead. You can have the property back. I'm not going to pay that lien. So I want somebody that's going to work on it pretty quick, go over there, make sure the house is still there, and actually like the house, not show up and be what the heck did this guy sell me? And buy it sight unseen. But so if you could go there, look at it, understand it, give me a timeline plan of what the action is here. The city is gonna hold off for me, and you're talking to them and stuff. Great. Then I think let's do a deal. But give me more information about how deep you are into the research of this property before just haggle out a deal with you. So let's keep going. Tattered Taylor, Scott, damn, if If I'd have known to stack up in APN numbers, I would have been on it all week. There's always next Monday, I guess. Yeah. I'm gonna be traveling though, so it's gonna be January before we do it again. Prayers up for me. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, Baldwin. Okay, so Baldwin's got one. I think so far I still got Andrea in the running is the lead. Let's see what Baldwin's got here. APN 122S 302. This looks like New Mexico. 001001001. Let's see. New Mexico's got these crazy APNs like this. Ah, Florida. I thought it was going to be a New Mexico APN. So Erica Benson property. Erica owns this property. Her name and number is right here, right there. Erica Benson, this is her property. She's got this one up for sale. She's asking $199 down with a $299 document fee and $199 a month for 46 months. So you can do the math on that. The area is 0.56 acres, a little over half an acre. And so he's looking at this property. So I think that's the one he really wants. Same person keeps calling me. So if I've got the map in the right area on this one, I mean, Erica usually comes up with really good properties. I think you're going to want to talk to her about the usability of this property. So like, look at this map here. It's right across from this corner. I'm not sure I have the right one. I was worried about this. She's got a different map. I was looking at this the other day, really questioning it. Lot location. I mean, hers looks a lot better than my map. I think my map needs fixing. I'm not sure my map is coming up with the right location. Because these this whole map doesn't like line up with her maps. I'm not sure I'm in the right place. But if this map is right, then there's a bunch of power lines across here, which I don't think Erica would have bought a property with a bunch of power lines across it, because the power line company is going to have easements going through here, and the easements are going to kill all the usability of this property. So I really don't think Erica bought this property. I think this map is wrong. And so I need to figure out why it's coming up, why this APN is coming up with that map when she's got this map over here. It just doesn't make sense. So I need to get this one fixed. I mean, here's her APNs, her GPS coordinates. Let's do this. I spend a lot of time on my maps, and it frustrates me when they come out wrong. And I've looked at this one a couple times, like scratching my head, like something's wrong. Look at her GPS right here. This is the same lot. Just take one out of the middle. It's the same lot. I'm wondering if she bought something different than what she thought. Yeah, because it's this lot. And so I think I would really ask her about the usability of this thing. Like, I would want to buy it through title company, and I would ask the title company to do a map of the easements of this property. And so these easements are going to be over my head. They're going to be too much for me to figure out. because you're going to have like multiple different easements piling together here for each one of these power lines. Like, look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, you got a whole bunch of power lines going through here. I don't know where they're all going, but these look like some big ones too. And maybe you got some land over here that's cool, that works. Like on the corner here. Maybe you can build in here somewhere. But if you go look at this thing, look at this. It's got the longer range power lines and it's got the neighborhood power lines. Look at all the power lines over here. Like, I think you're really going to have to study the power lines. Maybe you can build under them and I'm wrong, but I think you're going to get that. And the other thing you're going to get here is the street's going to have like these view corridors, like going around this turn. You're not going to be able to build right on the turn because you're going to make like car accidents happen. And you're going to have street setbacks. So there's probably going to be some setback from the street that's like 10, 20, 40 feet or something. Because you see these other buildings, they're not built right up to the street. Try not to cough in the microphone. But, so these guys all have setbacks, right? Like, nothing's built right up to the street. So what's your setback from the curb going back? And so you're going to have multiple different rules, like these easements for the power lines. They don't want you to build there. And then you're going to have setbacks from the street. And so by the time you have the setbacks and the easements in there, how much land is left in here that you can still use? I would really want to map that out before you take this property down. So that's what I would be asking about that one. Okay, next. Angela Park. I wish I knew that ahead of time. Not going to look for some land. Not going to go look for some land. Andrea, I'll look for another APN. Thank you, Brenda. Okay. No way I can catch up now. LOL. I'll nail it next week. As soon as the feed is done, I'll start the massive APN list. Nice. It's Escanaba County, Brandonport. Yep, that's awesome, Andrea. I want to do the same someday. Nice. Jeff, my usual weekly pick: San Diego County, Palomar County, rustic cabin. Oh, okay. So Jeff's picking his favorite property. So we've got this property. I thought I had my map up. We'll pull it up on this website. So Jeff is gung-ho about this one. This property, I'm trying to bring it up. The map's loading. It's on Palomar Mountain. We had all this rain here over this last week, and up in the mountain I saw some forecasts. It was going to get up to 2 foot of snow, like where this cabin is that we're going to go look up. And I was like, kids, let's go play in the snow. I got sick. I couldn't do it, but we're trying to get up there and go play in the snow. And I'm sure the roads would have been all jammed up, so everyone was going to play in the snow. This is where you can go from Southern California along the beaches to go play in the snow. The cabin is like 5,500 foot elevation, and the beach here, I'm at like 100 foot elevation because there's like a big cliff between here and the water, and the Pacific is like 6 foot elevation or something to start with because it's 6 foot over the Atlantic. So elevation's off the Atlantic, it's not off the Pacific. And so Mount Palomar's right here. I'm over here. I'm down here, like on this over here, and the property's up here. And so usually go up and take the 76 out and to the property. And a couple times I've been up there. And then the road going up to the property. This road is one of the most popular street biking roads in the country. There's guys that take their Tour de France kind of street bikes, like pedal bikes, up this hill and then race down it. And they are like, this hill goes straight up, right? And it's got all these switchbacks. You can see the switchbacks in there. And they just love riding that. Guys on motorcycles love riding it. And then there's a little restaurant up here at the top, your mother's kitchen. And then there's some different parks. There's parks all over the place, right? And then around the corner there's this road, and it comes out to this property. There's an overlook here. This overlook here down the hill from the property looks out at the ocean. So you can see the islands. You can see Catalina Island. You can see San Clemente Island. I think you can see the Coronado Islands from there down into Mexico. So you can see a lot of San Diego County from this mountain. And then if you're standing there and you're looking up the hill, you see like a house that's next to the cabin. You don't see the cabin from the overlook, but because there's some trees in the way. But this cabin's right up here, right? And so this house here just sold a couple weeks ago for, I think it was $300,000. It went up for sale 2 months ago or something. It sold a month or two after it went up for sale. But it's a full-on house. It's like winterized and stuff. And the cabin's not winterized, and it's not, it's much more rustic than the house over here that just sold. And so if we turn it into satellite, and we zoom in on this property, you can see the driveway comes down here. There's a power line that comes down here. And here's the driveway. The driveway comes into the property, and it keeps going. I mean, this road keeps going. It's like a fire trail. You could go that way, or you could circle around the property. And then it circles around. You could drive back in here if you want to do a longer drive around kind of route. Or the driveway comes down here under the trees, and you can access the cabin from here. And so if you look at this from above, there's a shed, there's a greenhouse, and there's the cabin. And the cabin is just a rustic cabin, And so if we bring this thing up, it's like the guys that had it before were just basically growing marijuana there in the greenhouse and using it as an extra grow house or something. I'm asking $78,000 for this. It's 0.86 acres. And there's views of the ocean. So you're up above that overlook. There's some trees, so you could take out some branches and stuff, and you could see more. There's some pictures of the property. There's the ocean's right out here. So if you cleaned up some of these trees and bushes and stuff, you could totally get some good views of the ocean. This is summertime kinds of greenery going on. These are the people next door. There's views out over the area. So there's a driveway going down into it. We cleaned up a bunch of the bushes and stuff to be able to get in and out of there. Here's a side of the cabin. It's just a little rustic cabin. The road, and you guys can go to the website and look at pictures. I'm not going to be on here forever. It's time for me to get off. I don't know if I think Jeff has a beautiful property, but I'm going to keep with Andrea about giving away land. Jeff's pitch is kind of self-serving. It would give us a chance to win. Okay, Jeff J. Palmer Mountain. My bad. Yeah, sweet. Dink Administrator. Okay, so Dankware Administrator's got a property. This one is in New Mexico somewhere. Let's pull this one up. Got a contender. 307-810. See if that comes up. Commercial property with Highway 180 frontage, 8 minutes east of Silver City, New Mexico. Okay, so $20,000 property. This one's by Andrew Goring. So Andrew's got this one. Andrew's name and phone number. He's the owner of this property. You got to ask him questions about it. So it's $20,000 property. And what does that acres say? 1.38 acres, New Mexico, Grant County, New Mexico. So it looks like it's on a big road, and there's a road going up to it. And yeah, there you go. So Dankware says, this property would work great for me. I could build a shop for my online business and possibly make living space with zoning and easy access to freight loads. There you go. So here's Silver City. Still trying to figure out where exactly we're at. Okay, so here's Las Cruces, here's El Paso, here's Albuquerque, here's Tucson. So you're kind of in between Las Cruces and Tucson. Not much around that area in terms of bigger cities. So we got the Highway 180 here. There's that interstate. It's a state highway. Western New Mexico University in Silver City. So okay, so Silver City's the main town. And so this is commercially zoned land. It sounds like you build what you want on it. It's got a church next door and a couple churches in the area. Signs, a lot of churches. Holiday Inn, Credit Union, RV Center. Yeah, so this is all commercial stuff along here. So it looks like it's got a road coming up to it. Well, this road comes off the highway. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can pull right in off the highway. Highway access. Check that out. Let's see if we can get the street. Oh, look, Street View goes right by it too. Looks like Street View took this road. Oh wow, look at that. So you're on a major highway and with a driveway that comes right into the property. I mean, yeah, look at that sucker. I mean, you could build all kinds of business right there on a big road like that. Road frontage access. I never really looked at this property. This is pretty cool. Got mobiles in the back. Yeah, check that out. So I was talking a little bit earlier in the in this conference or in this show about a conference I signed up for next month. I don't know if any of you guys like to go to these different conferences, but I've been to numerous different real estate conferences. Sometimes I learn something, sometimes I don't. This one is, let's see if I can get it to come up. RodInLosAngeles.com. Rod Cleef, he does like podcasts and stuff. He's always talking about multifamily. But commercial, it was pretty cheap. It's like $250 for the conference. And it's going to be supposedly not upselling, but 3 days of just these guys taking us through all kinds of commercial property deals. Well, now it's $350. They had a sale. I got the $250 sale. So I was going to try this one, but this property makes me think of that conference. So I can go ask, I could specifically go after zoning of commercial properties like this. That's what I'm thinking when I look at this property. I mean, you're thinking about using it for your business and stuff. I think it's awesome. And I think it's really nice to get into business transactions like that where the economics of putting a shop, putting a business, you got signs out on the road. You can have big trucks coming and going. You can have, loading docks and stuff. You could have manufacturing there. You could have, warehousing, production. You live on it at the same time. I think that's really neat. So I think that's really neat property. Dankware administrator. No, I gotta figure out which one of these I like better. That's the hardest part of this. Let's keep going. I'll circle back. But my point of going to these commercial real estate conferences, maybe I get the nerve up and learn how to start adding commercial real estate like this one here on the screen to the mix. I mean, basically all I have to do to go after properties like this is just change the zoning stuff that I'm going after from like residential to commercial and start making bids on commercial properties like this. I'm sure I'll start buying up commercial properties and start selling them. So, but it'd be nice to know like what the commercial guys are doing and just go hear them out a little bit. Maybe I'll learn something from them. Raj Kumar says, I want to set up my first home and please give me some land. Anything in Texas, Florida, Colorado, Arkansas. Nice. Okay, Tom's World, he's got one here. So let's figure out what this APN is. I'm typing it out. was one long APN. Where the heck is that from? Let's make sure I got that right. 9414. No, it's someone else's. 102 1S 1707050070 0-00A. Oh, I missed a dash. Dash 0250. Okay, so I had missed one dash in there. See if that finds it. Walton County, Florida. Yeah. It says, I want to win because I'm homeless, have a daughter, will cash out my pension to place a mobile home. I have family in the area and have none where I am currently at. That's why. Cool. I hope you get this property. We should get Jason on the phone, figure out what's taking so long to get this thing on the market and get this one for you. There's two of them too. You could probably buy one or the other. Probably don't even need both of them. I don't know how much he's going to ask for it or anything. But he usually does owner financing. Jason's done a lot of owner financing. Looks like it's got a power line there, right there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Some rivers and water and stuff in the area. It's not for sale. Like, I don't know what to say. It's not for sale yet. Gotta call Jason. Okay, so someone with the username Y. Sounds like too good to be true. Put this one in there. Hopefully I typed this one right. Let's see what this property is. Fremont County, Wyoming. This is a good one. This will bring up the price by double if you can find water, low water level. Yeah, so there's a lot of water in the area. I mean, it's got pictures on this thing. Let's see if there's a creek or a irrigation runoff ditch in the back that's got water in it. I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard to get water here. The water well permit is $25 in Wyoming. Like, oh wow, don't break the bank. So if we drop this over here, you can see the ditch, I think. Yeah. So here, the property is, this water is probably coming from the field. You can see it's probably coming from the farmer's field over here. They water the field, then the extra goes into these kinds of ditches. It's probably not just that field. It's fields all over the area. And then the ditches run and try to get rid of the water. So you probably don't want to drink that water because it's probably coming off of fertilized and pesticide, insecticide, whatever kind of chemical field. But there's water there, and I think if you drilled for water in the area, this is going to help the water table with this kind of water being around the area. I don't think it's going to be that deep to go for a water well in the area. So it's a bunch of this land back here, and then there's an easement that goes out to the property. Looks like some snow-capped mountains in the background whenever this was taken. Looks like the neighbor's got an outhouse too. Classic Wyoming. I've used outhouses in Wyoming. They seem to be pretty popular still. Let's get out of this. So here, I think this green thing is my cartoon of an easement. This is where the easement goes. There's a little driveway going back there, or driveway, the start of one to get back there. And yeah, so there's a property. You could be in the back. This would be like a flagpole kind of property, a long driveway getting back there. And that water runs along the back. It's a good looking property. I like that one. So that was by Y, user Y. Angela Park, what qualifications for the land are you looking for? I thought it was going to be a random drawing or something. Yeah, I've done a lot of random drawings in the past, just asking a basic question, and whoever's paying attention can answer the basic question. I changed it a couple weeks ago because I thought it was more fun. I think it's more interactive if we talk about specific properties, like which one is your dream, which one is your wish, what one would help you, benefit you, or economic, life-wise the most, and tell your story with an actual APN number so I can look it up and we can look at the property, we can compare, contrast, maybe it inspires somebody else too. I think that's a little bit deeper of a an ask, and I think it's more fun. So that's what we're doing. Andrea keeps putting more of them up there. Guys, I'm falling apart. I got to get off this call. So I got Andrea, Dankware, and Y so far, I think, with properties. I'm going to pan through here. Steve Smith, I had a water rights issue with a title company that failed to perform their job. When confronted, the response was, sue us. I had to sue the seller and won. Yeah, I mean, what a joke, right? Some of these title companies. Luke, how often should a county be checked for listings in Arizona and New Mexico? How often should a county be checked for listings in Arizona and New Mexico? I mean, I post them as I get them. I mean, we're always posting new properties. And a lot of the other guys on the website or other people on the website are posting pretty religiously, posting new properties. I don't have a good answer for you how often it should be checked. How desperate are you? How sure are you want to be the next, cherry picking the ones that come out of the gate? I mean, just stick on it. McCat, honestly, just about any property would work, Luke. I've been disabled for quite a few years now and just barely making ends meet. Undeveloped zone-free property would not only get me off the rental hamster wheel, but give me a chance to actually build a better existence. Nice. McCat's going for it. I want to see one in Heber, Arizona. Okay, I got to keep going faster. Are you required to cut down all the trees on a property or just enough for your space? Referring to MLS ID. I don't know the MLS ID numbers. You're not required to cut all the trees down your property on any of the properties. I don't know who would ever do that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, it's usually practical to cut a lot of trees down when you're building because you want to get like equipment and tools and things in there, and it's usually cheaper for the heavy equipment to get in there and access the building site if the trees aren't in the way. But it's nicer in the long run to have their shade and their life and the animals and stuff that live in the trees. If you can keep them, you might be doing something in between, like cutting some branches. By the time, Jack and Jill are awesome. Yeah, 1619 Buffington Hill. Yep. Hill, Heber, Arizona. I don't know. Okay, guys are talking about different properties like MLS ID. I don't know the MLS IDs. Angela Park, what do you think about APN something and something which seemed to be one parcel of two separate lots? Could use it for residential on one, farming on business on the other, possibly. Is that Pima County property? Let me see. I think one's 12A and one's 12B. Someone's asking if I've decided who the winner is yet. No, I haven't. I'm boiling it down. I got a couple people that made good pitches. I got the short list going. My computer's going slow, guys. Okay. Hey, Luke, make yourself a lemon ginger. Exactly. Okay. Angela Park. I think I'm catching up to live. And for whatever reason, this thing in my screen is not working. Can't let me out of here. Okay. Um, I just had one that disappeared. Okay. Angela Park, 152430 and APN 152429. So let's see what these are. These are sold. These ones are sold. So I'm not doing the ones that are sold. Like the ones that are for sale are good. So guys, I got to figure out how to call this one. The call's too long. We're 3 hours into the call. Thank you everyone for coming and listening, asking great questions, playing along with which property is the best. I mean, I could go which property is the best for days and days and days and days, and then we could go buy some more properties that are better than all the best ones. Like, it's just how it goes, right? So we got Y with the Fremont, Wyoming property that's got the stream in the background. We got Dankware with the commercial property, the $20,000 commercial property that's on the highway with a road in there. He could put his business on it. He could pull like trucks in there and stuff. That's a pretty cool looking property. I hadn't really researched that one in the past. It makes me want to like make some videos about that one. And then we got Andrea with the property for $499, who's talking about getting into mobile home investing and moving a mobile home onto the property, and either fixing up an old one, or I don't know if she was talking about doing a new one, but like fixing up old mobile homes, I think is what she was talking about, or her mom was talking about, or something. And so the Y in Fremont, Wyoming, was saying you could double it by just adding water. Dankware was talking about moving his business there. I think it's pretty massive to move your business and your life to a property like this. That's a pretty big move. So I kind of ranking Dankware. I'm ranking Dankware's above Y's pitch on the best property for that commercial one on the highway. And then between Andrea and Dankware, I mean, they're both talking about business. They're like starting business, move their business there, or starting mobile home investing kinds of businesses. It's really tough, guys. I think I'm just going to give away 2 properties. And you guys are going to have to be patient with me, because it's taken me a while to get the paperwork rolling on the free properties I've given out. This might be the last time I give out free properties like this for a while. So let's do 2 of them. And let's give Andrea a property. So Andrea, thank you. Thanks for pitching your properties. You pitched like half dozen of them or something. And Dankware admin, thanks for pitching the one that you could move your business to in Grant County, New Mexico. I think that's really awesome. So if you guys would both please email Gilian, Gilian, at ruralvacantland.com and say, I won a property today on the live call. And give your username. I'm going to need your title information, what name you want to own this property, and then I'm going to give you what mailing address I can send the paperwork to you. So I've got to send you paperwork that you're going to sign this paperwork that you're going to accept this property, and it's going to have like my check with it and the paperwork that you're going to send to the state, and it's going to have an envelope in there, and you just have to sign. I'll put like a sticky on it. It says sign here with an arrow or something like that, right? Sign the thing and then put it in the envelope that I give you and ship it off. And then it's got your address on there and stuff, so the deeds are going to come back to you. So I'm going to be in the dark whether this thing really happens or not, so you're going to have to circle back with me and say, Luke, we got it. We got the deed. Awesome. And I'll take it off my checklist, or I might be checking in with you over time like, hey, did you get anything? Or if you get a letter back that says, we're not accepting your offer because of this, or we're not rejected or blah, blah, blah. If you get some letter back communications about this from the state of Arkansas, please let me know. Like, take a picture of it on your phone and text it to me or email it to me or send it to me or something so I can understand what's going on and I can fix it from there. We might have to try a couple times to get you a property. So let's do that. So Andrea and Dankware, thank you. Thanks everybody. Thanks everyone that's been coming on. And yeah, so Luke won't. There you go. So people are saying they're going for it. Congratulations, winners. Yeah. Gilian, Gilian at ruralvacantland.com. I'm going to meet up with Gilian in about 2 weeks' time. We're going to be in Ubud, Bali. If any of you guys are in Ubud, you want to meet up, or if you're in, we're going to be in northern Bali through Christmas and New Year's and stuff. If you want to meet up, let me know. Reach out. I'm just going to try to spend some time on the beach and go snorkeling and stuff. Yeah, Sunshine says that's good. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody for your patience. I'm gonna try to catch up on multiple other things. Like the first comment on there was Greg G. I got to go figure that out. Thank you, everybody. See you again. The next live call will be Monday, the 13th of January. Maybe I'll slide some in there in between if I can. But the next scheduled one's Monday, the 13th of January. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas, New Year's, whatever you celebrate. And see you guys later. Bye.